Morning. When the bright sunlight wakes me, I realize my neck is stiff. Mm. Whoa. My neck feels heavy because my shoulders are stiff. I probably strained my neck when I slept on my stomach. On the other hand, my back feels much better now. I don't feel any pain, so it shouldn't hinder my normal life. Crap, it's past 7. Ouch!
Oh my god, does he already not have any knees?
I feel a sharp pain in my stomach. Ah, no knees!
Listen, I said that before I read the stomach line. It's not my fault.
It's fine as long as I stay still, but it hurts when I suddenly move.
We did get fucking punched.
We got kicked into a wall, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's a bruise, so I bet it'll hurt for a while. But it's nothing I can't endure. It's not like it's bad enough to stop me from moving, so I should be able to act normally.
Unlike having knees, which will stop me from moving.
I get changed and leave my room. I smell breakfast from the living room, so I bet Sakura's preparing it.
And going to drug me. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
That was just unconscious horny Sakura, okay? Awake Sakura's fine.
Okay.
Morning. I'm sorry I slept in. Is there anything I can still help with?
Good morning, Senpai. It's rare for you to sleep in.
Ugh, I'm sorry. It was already morning when I noticed.
It can't be helped because you're injured. I went to wake you up earlier, but you didn't even show signs of waking up. I think your body's tired.
I could have broken your knees right there and you wouldn't have noticed.
And you would have never fucking known, bitch.
Wow. I have no memory of Sakura coming to wake me up.
I don't like this at all.
Not only are my shoulders stiff, but it seems my head is still asleep. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go wash my face. I'll be back right away.
No, please take your time. I'll prepare breakfast by myself today, so please go wash your face.
Sakura's really energetic. Well, if she's making the offer, I shouldn't turn her down. Then I'll go ahead and wash my face.
Yes, I'm confident in today's miso soup, so please look forward to it.
I nod and head into the hallway. Wait. Something's strange.
I don't have legs.
I went past her without caring because she was energetic, but this is just like... I hear something falling to the ground. I don't know if it's because I've heard it many times these past few days, but I realize it's the sound of someone falling. Oh no. Sakura! I run back in the living room. Oh no. Sakura must have been on the ground as she slowly raises her upper body. Sakura. I support her staggering body. Her body's hot just like before. Her breathing is ragged, her shirt is wet with her sweat, telling me how bad her condition is. She's gonna fucking break our knees.
Oh, Senpai.
She must have come to her senses. Sakura looks at me with unfocused eyes. Jeez. Oh,
Well,
nope,
that's me.
that's you.
Jeez, I told you to take your time, but you came back right away. Please hold on, I'll prepare breakfast right away.
She smiles and brushes my hand off of her. Sakura. It doesn't seem like she's pushing herself, but rather that she doesn't notice she's sick. Hold on, you don't have to make breakfast. Just go back to your room and lie down. You have a high fever.
Huh? I have a fever?
Yes. Damn, it's really bad if you don't know it yourself. Why didn't I notice something so obvious? Even though I was depressed about Saber, there's something wrong with me if I can't care for Sakura's health.
Senpai, I'm really fine. I just fell, so it's not like I'm dizzy or anything.
Don't say stupid things. You have such a high fever. I don't even need a thermometer to tell that.
Oh.
I pull her into the living room. I have to let Sakura rest for now. I'll report to the school that she's going to be absent, make some breakfast that's easy to digest. And for lunch, yeah, I'll ask Fujimura's old man and have one of their housekeepers come over.
Oh, where are you going, Senpai? We have to eat breakfast before we go to school.
Sakura still hasn't grasped the situation. All her energy must have been a result of the fever. You're not going to school. You are resting in your room today. I'll let the school know. I'm gonna go see Fujine in class, so I'll tell her then.
I'm not going to school?
Right. Who else would it be? I'm injured, but I'll be fine. There's no reason for me to stay home. Well, there's no reason.
Your kneecaps.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason for me to push myself and go to school. Because I lost Saber, I don't have such liberty. But there's something I have to do. I can't be staying in my house until I go tell Tohsaka about last night. About Mato Zoken and Assassin. Anyway, you're to stay home today. You're working hard every day, so you can rest once in a while. I'll come home right away after I'm done with my business.
Oh, no, I'm really fine. So let's eat breakfast and go to school. This fever will go away if I do.
Such a thing won't happen, you idiot. You're being absurd, Sakura.
I'm not being absurd. You're the one being reckless. I'm feeling perfectly fine and you're injured, but I'm the only one staying home. That's...
Whoa, Sakura!
Huh? That's strange, Senpai. I'm having trouble breathing.
Sakura's breathing hard and is about to fall to the ground. I support her, but her body's heavy. She must not have the power to stand up, or maybe she can't stand up because her body's heavy. Either way, Sakura's so sick that she can't walk by herself, and she's the only one who thinks she's fine. You idiot. Look, I'm gonna make you stay home today, no matter what. I don't care if you don't like it or not, but you'll end up staying home tomorrow too if you use up extra energy.
But, Senpai, I have to go to school.
Delirious, Sakura punctuates her sentence with ragged breaths. Ignoring her, I lift her up and head to the guest room. She's already asleep when I get there. But she must still be semi-conscious. Oh no. She's breathing painfully and takes a firm grip on my arm. I lay her on the bed.
Oh, Senpai?
Her voice is vague. Sakura's staring at the ceiling, not at me. Sakura. Her ragged breathing, flushed cheeks, sweat-dampened clothes, and her chest heaving in pain. She looks so attractive that I quickly look away. Fucking left field. Why am I so imprudent when Sakura's sick?
God, did she just give off pheromones that make Shirou extra horny? Or is this just teenage boy things?
I don't know. Crap. I guess I'll have to go ask their housekeeper. I can't change her clothes or wipe her down. Her breathing has calmed down since she's lying down, so she should get better with some fever medicine. Once she can walk again, I can take her to the hospital to go get some medicine. Sakura, I'm gonna go get someone, so sleep until then. You're familiar with Fujine's housekeeper, right? There's no reply. Her breathing still sounds painful, but it seems she's asleep. Whew. You're obstinate in weird ways, Sakura. Why do you want to go to school so bad? I'm just talking to myself. I know there won't be a reply, because Sakura's asleep. Bye, I'm going to school. I step away from the bed and head to the door. Then,
I want to go to school with you, Senpai.
I hear her answer. Sakura? I turn around. Sakura's still asleep, and her eyes are closed painfully. Oh, she's just talking in her sleep. I leave the guest room. On my way out,
Because I have to protect Senpai.
She says this in feverish tones. I dropped by Fujine's place on my way to school to have their housekeeper come by. I sometimes forget because Fujine is not the type to dress up, but the Fujimura family is one of the richest households around here. It has dozens of scary-looking people that call themselves company employees, even though it's not a company. Many of them live in the outbuildings, so they're a large family. I often forget that Fujine's dad or grandpa's just like a Yakuza gang boss.
Yeah, same.
Oh, there are many housekeepers, and one will be free to spare if I ask.
Yeah, when they said that she had many housekeepers, I was like, yo, is Fujimura Sensei loaded?
We talked about it in the other routes briefly.
Yeah, I think I forgot.
So, I get one of the emergency housekeepers who took care of my place a few times before Sakura started coming over. She's acquainted with Sakura, so I can trust her to take care of her.
Emergency housekeepers is the silliest sentence I've ever heard.
Or when they have gang wars and they have to use their other housekeepers. It's lunchtime. In accordance with our agreement, I meet up with Tosuka on the rooftop and tell her what happened last night. And the result is...
Then what? Zoken is Assassin's Master and he tried to kill you and not Saber?
Tosuka getting really angry. That's right, what's with you all of a sudden?
It's not sudden. From what I heard, Zoken tried to kill you after Saber was defeated. That's strange. The process is wrong no matter how you look at it.
Tosuka leans forward and glares at me. I back up just a few centimeters because of her attitude, but we're sitting in our spot behind the water tower.
Hey, are you listening to me, Emiya-kun? Didn't you think something was strange about what you told me?
Tosuka Rin glares at me in dissatisfaction. Ugh. As if her attitude wasn't bad enough, now she's getting right in my face. The space is small, so there's no room for me to back up. I'm like a mouse in a trap. There's nowhere for me to run. What was strange?
It's the priorities. Zoken didn't try to kill you even though you two were alone. It was fortunate that Assassin was able to beat Saber, but there was also a chance of Assassin's defeat. Zoken should have tried to kill you, Saber's master, as quickly as possible.
Well, that's true. But maybe Zoken was confident that Assassin could beat Saber.
No way, even you could tell that Assassin was weaker, right? Then Zoken definitely wouldn't gamble like that. I bet he had a reason not to kill you. Well, I can think of 2 reasons.
Ew. So that's...
Oh shit.
I think
He didn't want to kill me?
Zoken doesn't give a fuck about our counterattack.
No, he knows he can fucking clap us, right?
Right. He didn't want to kill me, maybe. He could afford to play around. I don't know. That doesn't feel on brand for pet character, right?
He doesn't seem like the torture type.
Yeah, I feel like
Ironically.
Zoken's very practical.
Ironically enough.
Like even the worms is like his practical method of mana, right?
Right. Okay, so he didn't.
I don't think he's like, haha, fuck around with Shirou.
Yeah.
So must be that he didn't want to kill us. I think. I don't know. You could disagree.
No, that's pretty much what I thought.
Maybe he didn't want to kill me right then?
Well, I guess that's the most likely motive. I have to assume that Azoken didn't want Saber to disappear. The only negative effect of your death would be Saber's disappearance.
Yeah, that's all I'm good for.
Hey, why are you sulking? I'm just talking about Zoken, so don't take it too seriously.
I'm not sulking, it's true. Why are you getting mad about this?
I'm not mad. You're just misunderstanding me. Anyway,
We've had that exact conversation before.
Anyway, Zoken had something he wanted out of Saber. He probably wanted you to stay alive as a master, but with that aside, he had a reason to kill you. I'll ask again. You're sure that he said you're useless, right?
I recall what happened last night.
There are still uses for the daughter of Tohsaka, but you are of no more use.
Yeah, and he also said you're still useful. Left that part out the first time?
I see. I don't know why you're useless now, but that must be why he's running away from me. One of us has to die if we meet, but Zoken needs both of us to stay alive for some reason, so he's hiding from me.
Tohsaka ponders. Well, I've told her what I need to tell her. If there's anything else I should say, it's...
Well, shit.
Oh, I feel like doing this by ourselves is stupid.
I will choose any answer that involves hanging out with Rin, so...
Rin has a servant, and we sure don't.
We sure don't have a servant!
I have to decide what to do from now on. I chose to keep fighting. With Tozoken and Assassin. The Black Shadow wandering around the town. The battle between masters over the Holy Grail. I chose to stop it, even without Saber. Then it shouldn't matter how I do it. I need Tohsaka's help if I don't want there to be any more victims. Tohsaka. I lost Saber and my command spell, so I'm not a master anymore, right?
Right, I forgot about that. You're not a master anymore. You have no reason to be involved in the Holy Grail War, and you're less likely to be attacked by other masters.
Yeah, I only wanted the Holy Grail because Saber wanted it. I have no interest in it now that Saber's gone.
I see, then you're not going to be fighting anymore?
There's no emotion in Tohsaka's eyes. Her words are merely something she must ask as a master, devoid of personal interest. This is not a question, but a warning. This is my last chance. She's providing me with a chance to back out, telling me I'll still make it if I want to withdraw. I will fight. But my mind is made up. I'll remember her consideration, though. I will fight. I won't stop fighting just because I'm not a master. I chose to fight to stop the war.
I see, then I guess we'll still keep our relationship. Even though we're enemies, we'll keep our truce in place until the shadow has been beaten.
Tohsaka suddenly smiles. She looks friendly, as if something good's happened. Well, I don't care, but... Hold on, why are we enemies? I'm not a master anymore. There's no reason for us to fight.
Nani? What are you saying? Even if you've lost your command spell and your servant, you're still Saber's former master. You were somehow chosen by the Holy Grail, so you have the right to obtain the Holy Grail until the very end. You're still my rival even though you're powerless.
Really? Even if I have no intention of obtaining the Holy Grail?
That would depend on the situation, right? It's possible that you end up needing the Holy Grail when you're in a situation where you can obtain it, and you inevitably use it. Unselfish people are affected by other people because they are unselfish.
You're thinking too much, Tohsaka. Even if I end up needing the Holy Grail, that doesn't mean I can obtain it.
It's just a what if, but the possibility is there. That's why I'm saying we're enemies, and that's why magi that aren't masters anymore run to the church. Even without their servants, there's still obstacles to the other masters. Keep that in mind and watch out. It's not just Zoken that wants to kill you.
I appreciate the warning, but... I don't like having Tohsaka as an enemy.
Why the difficult face? We're already enemies. Is there a problem with that?
Yeah, this means I can't ask for your help after all.
Huh?
She freezes. She looks at me as if she's seen a ghost.
Why do you need my help?
Because I can't do this by myself. Ending the Holy Grail War means defeating the other masters, but I don't have the power to do so. I know it looks pitiful, but I don't care about that. I only have a few options, and I think this is the best thing I can do. That's why I can't be enemies with you. I need you as an ally.
Hey, are you sane, Emiya-kun?
I am. I'm too weak to fight alongside you, so I could end up weighing you down. I can't offer you anything in return, so there's nothing in it for you if you help me. Yeah, cooperation like this isn't usually possible.
So you do understand. Equivalent exchange is standard for Magi, just like you say. I can't lend something to someone with no money, and I can't help someone who can't help me in return. You know that's for your own good, too, right? I gave you advice because we had a truce, but it's a different matter if we're actually allies. If that were the case, we'd have to share the reward, too.
I know, but I'm asking you anyway, even knowing that. Please help me, Tosuka. I'll pay you back for this as long as I'm alive.
What? As long as you're alive?
I'm fully aware that I'm only a burden on her. But Tosuka's the most reliable person I know, and I can trust her to do no wrong, even if she obtains the Holy Grail. So Tosuka's the only one I can see winning, and the only one I'm willing to cooperate with. Tosuka, let me hear your answer. I look at her straight on.
It's obvious, right? Even if I team up with someone who's not a Master Eye.
Tosuka?
I said I can't help you even if you ask me like that. First of all,
Tosuka?
quit whittling me down. This is like a real contract.
Then Tosuka looks down once and...
Jeez, alright, then here are the terms for our agreement.
She glares at me. Got him. What do you mean by terms?
Terms are terms.
Fair enough.
This is the legitimate contract. So I'll consider it if you can promise me what I'm going to ask you.
Tosuka, I've already told you, I have nothing I can give back to you.
Just listen to me.
Alright, I'll listen.
Okay, here's the first one. I don't mind cooperating, but will you do as I tell you? Will you obey me no matter what I tell you to do during a battle?
What if we just drop a no? Like, nah.
Do you want to say no?
Can't end well.
Well,
We could say it and see what happens.
Do you want to see what happens?
I'm kind of curious. It can't last long.
I don't know, man. We went like 4 days at one time.
No, but this is a fucking tiny little choice. There's no way. It might not even matter what we... No, I probably can't obey you unconditionally.
Hey now, who do you think you are answering like that from the very first question?
But isn't it normal? For example, I'd be in trouble if you give me a reckless order.
I won't be that stupid. If you think it's reckless, it's probably because you don't understand what I'm planning. Oh well, so you'll obey me as long as the order's reasonable?
Yeah, I'd keep that promise.
I can't believe that's gonna work.
Oh, we just roll that. That's just a better answer.
Yeah. Then here's the second question. Can you trust me like I'll be trusting you? Will you stay on my side no matter how ugly things get?
I'll probably say yes to this one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rationale for no is on
Yeah,
this. Like, whoa, if it gets a little too rough, I'm out.
I see, so you will give me your absolute obedience.
Hmm.
You're like, maybe until I don't have any kneecaps, yeah, sure.
I didn't like how you phrased that. Jessica says something dangerous. That seems to be the final question, but...
Oh shit, now I really do want to save. That second one didn't fill me with fear, but...
I wonder if it just keeps going until you say yes to one.
I wonder.
No way. I don't know. Absolute obedience is sure what we disagreed to first.
Yeah, let's double down.
Yeah. No way. I'll admit your instructions are better as a magus, but I'm sure you make mistakes once in a while.
We're about to get clapped by fucking Archer, dude. He's gonna snipe us off this high school.
We're just gonna gonder us in the head. You say something ridiculous, I can't just obey you. I'll protest if I think you're wrong. That's what it means to cooperate, right?
Of course, I can't cooperate with you unless that's the case. I tend to do
was a
things my
test.
own way, so I need someone to act as my brakes. It'll be helpful if you can take that role.
It was a test and we passed!
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. I don't have a... I guess... Oh. Okay.
Huh? I'm a bit disappointed. I expected disagreeing to spark an argument, but Tosuka's nodding in satisfaction.
Then here's the last question. I'll help you as much as I can if it's something I can do and you can't do. But can you do the same even in the opposite case?
Something I can do that you can't do? Is there such a thing? Is it possible that she can't cook and needs my help?
Hey,
Ma'am, I have one talent.
Hey, you're like, I can't fight. I don't have a servant, so I can make food. Hey, come on and answer since this is the most important question. Yes or no, quick.
Well, it'll help me out if you can give me a specific example.
Jeez, I'm asking if you let me win or not.
She says with her cheeks blushing, as if she's sulking. Yeah, it looks childish, completely unlike Tosuka. But... yeah. I'll let you win since I'm cooperating with you. I promise. It's actually really cute.
And we'll meet at the front gate after school. You're going to have club activities at my place starting today.
Club activities at your place?
Yep, we're cooperating, so I need to teach you how to fight by yourself, right? Well, I know from what I've already seen that you're an amateur, so you'll be working overtime every day.
Well, I don't mind. That's actually helpful. But is that starting today?
Of course, I have to figure out your ability and determine our plan from tonight on. You'll be going home late, but it's no problem since you live alone, right?
Huh? Well, that's true, but how do you know that, Tosuka?
I thought so because there wasn't anyone at your house when I treated your wound before. Anyway, that's how it's going to be, so you just have to wait for me at the front gate.
Tosuka waves goodbye and runs off. It's Friday today. Classes run a 6th period, so we'll be going home after 3 o'clock. This is bad. I told Sakura I'd be coming home early, but I can't cancel Tosuka's proposal on the very first day. I feel bad for Sakura, but I'll go with Tosuka for today. Well, she isn't a devil. So she might let me go home early today if I tell her about Sakura, right? Sakura's gonna fucking break our knees and Tosuka's knees.
Everyone's knees get broken.
Also, while we're on a transition, congratulations on your new job, Nick.
Yeah, Nick! Congrats on your new job! Let's get our emoji horns! New job!
Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled kneecapping.
Fucking
good?
love getting kneecapped. Yeah, you're good.
I wait for Tosuka by the front gate. The sky is gray and it looks like it'll rain any minute now. There's a chill wind, so it'll be a cold night if it rains.
What are you thinking about?
Then Tosuka's in front of me when I notice. She must have ran here, as her shoulders are moving up and down. Nothing. I just thought it might rain.
Oh, the weather? I guess it'll just be a drizzle. We have to go patrol at night, so it'll be a pain if it rains too much.
It seems Tosuka's already made plans for us to go on patrol tonight.
She said
I don't
overtime,
mind, but I'd like to go by my house and check on Sakura before that.
Just ask!
Tosuka, about that.
I know. I'll train you as your cooperator, so prepare yourself. I'll make you a proper magus.
With those confident words, Tosuka sets off down the hill.
Just kidding, no time to ask.
Crap. I can't bring up the subject of going home early if she smiles like that. Excited to get trained by Tosuka for this route. We kind of had that on the first route, I guess. But it was like projection shit.
Oh, I see. Right.
You make the...
But didn't we have a whole thing about how since she's a genius, it's really hard for her to train you because you guys have really different skill levels?
It's hard for her to relate to, like, someone who works really hard. Yeah, it's relatable. If Rin asked me to do something, I would also do it. We make the long walk up the hill south of the intersection. This residential area is filled with Western-style houses. Tosuka's house is at the top of this hill, past Sakura's. Past Zoken's house.
Hey, bye!
Wow. So this is Tosuka's place. Sakura's house is bigger, but this house feels more like a Western mansion. And it somehow feels cold. There's been an air that seems to reject anyone nearing this place ever since we finished climbing up the hill.
Why did you stop? This is my house.
Yeah, I know. I was just coerced.
Yeah, my house is different from yours. It's just that even someone who's ignorant of magical energy like you could feel the coldness of this house.
Tosuka goes into her home, speaking in bored tones. Yeah, house sucks.
Hey, come on. I don't have any traps set up, so you don't need to hesitate.
She beckons me from the entrance. No, it's not because of the atmosphere that I'm hesitating.
It's a girl's house.
Muttering to myself, I gather my composure and go in. This place certainly does have a cold atmosphere, but that's nothing. She has no idea what a big deal it is for a guy to come over to Tosuka Rin's house. Well, I'm sure she won't even understand, even if I explain it to her. If I'm lucky, she'll just laugh. Wait. Why are we in your room and not the living room? With an utter lack of concern, she shows me through the living room and into her bedroom.
It's because this place has more instruments ready. The living room is where you have tea, but we didn't come here to drink tea, right?
You're right, but... I wish she'd think of me as a boy her age.
You gotta bring it here. Just sit down wherever. I'll be using sage and cards to consecrate you, but tell me now if you don't like either.
Hate cards. Tosuka opens the box by her bed.
Here.
It looks like a treasure chest from an adventure movie.
T-shirt's agate is useless for this. Oh, I'm out of sage. Can you bring some up from downstairs, Archer?
Scarlet Sage, right? Well, I don't think you'll need to go that far to distinguish this man.
I'll do whatever I please. You can rest downstairs after that. We have it packed, so you don't need to protect me.
You're right. I doubt he has the nerve to betray you. I shall get ready for tonight. That must be Archer. His presence must be thin when in spirit form. I didn't feel much magical energy from him. I'm surprised. I didn't notice that he was in the room.
That's how it is if he's in spirit form. Even if he takes form, his magical energy won't leak outside as long as he's in this house. It's elementary for a workshop to shut in the magical energy.
Oh, so it's the same for Mato's place?
Yes, but that place has no need to hide magical energy anymore. They're hiding magical energy. It'd be the energy leaking out from the magus himself and not from the house. Well, either way, it takes nothing to hide magical energy. I'd take Archer with me to school too, but I'm resting him during the day since he's not up to par.
Tohsaka rummages through the treasure chest with a difficult expression. It seems she can't find what she wants. Is she the kind of person that never keeps anything in order?
Really, why doesn't the wound he received from Saber heal when all other wounds could be healed easily? I'm sure they had some connection. Jeez, why am I finding my master's jewels now? I can never find them when I want them. Damn it!
She leans forward and keeps fumbling around. That chest looks small, but it seems big enough to be able to fit Tohsaka inside. What a weird thought.
Yeah.
Man, there's nothing to prepare for. All I can do is pray she'll find the thing she wants, or just look around her room aimlessly. Then, I see something. It's a photo. A bookshelf that's about waist high is at the corner of the room. On it's a photo that looks to have been forgotten. Dust falls off it when I pick it up, and I can tell it's been left alone for a long time. It's not that she never cleans, just this picture is undisturbed. Does Tohsaka not like seeing herself as a kid? No, if that were all, she could just put it away. Maybe it's important to her, but she doesn't want to touch it. But people sure can change. Tohsaka looks like she's 5 or 6 years old, and she's really cute in the picture. Fucking got him. So she had long hair back then too, huh? The girl in the picture looks just like she is now, except younger. That's why I noticed the one thing that's different.
Thanks for waiting. I'm all ready now. There'll be a little pain, but it's nothing you should be worried about, huh? What's going on, Emiya-kun? Oh. Sorry.
Oh. Damn. Oh, this, Tohsaka. I show her the picture I found.
Oh, that's an old photo. I just put that in the corner, but is something wrong with it?
Huh? Well, there's nothing wrong, but... It's nothing much, so I hesitate. It's nothing I need to ask about, but it just caught my attention.
Oh, I see. You want to say I have a different ribbon on, right?
I nod.
Yes, it's the ribbon he's thinking about.
I think that's actually what he's thinking about.
That's natural. I'm a girl, so I have lots of ribbons. Even if it's my favorite, do you think I'd keep the same ribbon for over 10 years?
Oh. She's right now that she mentions it. It's just an ordinary ribbon. Why was I so concerned about it?
I'm kidding, that's what I want to say, but ribbons are special. It's the last resort for female magi. It's an appropriate magical item, so there aren't many substitutes for it.
Wow. Then is that ribbon some sort of magical item?
Yes, holding the hair in place means holding the magical energy in place. My family doesn't have mystic eyes, so we have to at least keep our reserve magical energy from our hair. It's something that controls your body, so it's best if you make it yourself, right? Wait, her ribbons actually have a purpose?
I guess. I completely forgot about this.
That's the first ribbon I made. It was my favorite, but I parted with it for various reasons. Well, let's stop with the idle talk. I'm starting the consecration, so sit down in that chair.
Tohsaka's analysis ends rather quickly. She lit an incense, did something like tarot fortune telling, and asked me a few personality assessment-like questions. And Tohsaka says,
You don't correspond to anything. Further testing would be useless.
And quickly gives up diagnosing my magic circuit. Your diagnosis is shit. Hey, does that mean you can't tell?
Excuse me, I found out that you're not related to the 5 elements. Any more consecration is out of my expertise, so it's useless to keep going. I'll just see what magic you can use and figure it out from there.
It's because his element is sword. That's how it is, according to her. I ran through the strengthening magic using the clay she prepared. It's called an ether cluster, and it's a strange object that returns to its original form no matter what happens to it. It's a good conductor of magical energy. I strengthen it so easily that I'm afraid it won't recover, but...
It's like Shiniku, so don't worry about it. It restores its original state in a day, even if you bundle it with strong magical energy.
She says something like that. Shiniku, by the way, is a meat that never goes away, no matter how much of it you eat.
Sorry, are we just gonna casually talk about endless meat and not where you find it?
It's gotta be like a folklore thing, right? I started Googling it and nothing comes up.
You're like, where's the secrets? Where do I find the endless meat? Where is the endless meat?
Give me the meats. Anyway, I keep repeating the strengthening magic on the clay. I can't fail in front of Tohsaka, but I only succeed 2 out of 10 times. It's a lot of failing.
Yep.
Activating my magic circuit, which was easy when I had Saber, took a lot of time and effort. Tohsaka asked me a few questions while I cast the strengthening magic. Whether I'm self-taught, whether I can use any other spells, how Kiritsugu taught me, and what I have the easiest time imagining. So, Tohsaka's expression darkens further with each answer I give, but by the end, she shut up entirely. I don't know what she's angry about, but it's really awkward to be here if she makes a face like that. Tohsaka, I know it's only a matter of course, but are you regretting cooperating with me because I'm such an amateur?
Huh? Yeah, I do regret that you're an amateur, but in your case, you were taught wrong. Or should I say that I'm surprised you're still alive with the way you're doing things.
Hey, Tohsaka, you lost me. Why is she glaring at me?
Fine, I guess if I'm going to correct you, we'll have to start with the fundamentals. But let's go back to what we were talking about earlier. Is it true that the things you projected are still in your shed?
Yeah, things don't normally go away unless you break them, right? I told her I used projection as a breather in between strengthening magic. It seems Tohsaka's particular about it and told me to use projection using the clay. She told me to make a vase. Everything started out smoothly, but in the end I still failed.
For now, I'll teach you how to turn your switch on and off. It's faster to make an actual switch in your body. Stay over tonight. It's a drastic measure, so you'll have to stay in bed all night.
What? You mean here?
Gonna break your kneecaps!
Sakura's at home.
What's with that face? Don't worry, I'm not going to be performing surgery on you. You'll still have your kneecaps in the morning. You'll just drink some medicine. Well, you won't be able to move for a while because it's so strong.
Oh, it's not that I don't like drastic measures. Weird. I look at the clock. It's almost 5. I didn't notice since it's cloudy today, but it's getting late. Tohsaka's helping me as a fellow magus. It makes me happy and I'm grateful, but I'm worried about Sakura too. I should...
Ooh.
Well, we should go see Sakura, probably.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely have to go see Sakura. The whole party's just gonna move over to your house. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Right.
And Tosuka's just gonna sleep in Saber's old room, and then we're gonna get all moist thinking about it.
Sweetclips chimes in every time there's a choice to say the wrong one. Every single time.
I think it's funnier when I read it because he just goes bottom, and I'm like, why are you talking about bottoms? And I'm like, oh, he means the choice. I understand.
He's just making a declaration.
He's like, bottom.
I'm worried about Sakura. I feel bad, but I should clearly tell her. Tohsaka, would you mind doing that at my house?
Huh? your house?
Yeah, Sakura's lying sick at my house. I want to go check on her. I won't be able to rest easy while I'm lying in bed unless I'm sure she's alright.
Crap, that's right.
She's astonished. It's only natural. Anyone would get mad if someone asked to cooperate, but told them today's a bad day to train.
You idiot, I wouldn't have kept you here for so long if you told me earlier.
Huh? She stands up as soon as she yells at me, then crosses the room and puts on her coat.
Let's go. We've done everything that has to be done here, and we can do the rest at your place. We'll continue as soon as you're done with nursing Sakura, so let's hurry.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, that'll help me out.
I'll tell you now since I don't want to have to keep remembering this. Your nature is in projection and not strengthening. I don't know where you made your mistake or what your misunderstanding is, but you're a magus that belongs on the side that creates.
Tosuka walks off down the hallway. It's for the safety of my knees. I tilt my head and wonder, but I follow Tosuka and leave the Tosuka household.
There's no way she could take my knees when Tosuka's there.
Although I think she'll want to take our knees more. Her whole thing was being jealous about it, right?
Oh god, we're absolutely losing our knees tonight.
Oh, it's gonna be a Sakura interlude. Oh, Jesus. I'm so scared.
Oh, it's gonna be so horny.
It's gonna be horny and murdery. The second hand on the clock ticks loudly, causing her to look up. It's past 4 o'clock. Fucking kill the maid. School's already over, and he should be home by now, even if he went by the shopping district.
Oh no, she's looking for your ass. I wonder what's going on. Senpai sure is late.
She leans on the wall and murmurs absent-mindedly. Uh-oh.
Huh?
The horny's kicking in.
Shh.
She feels heavy and dizzy. She's surprised at how quiet her voice is. The second hand's annoyingly loud, but her words are almost inaudible. Only simple sounds echo in her ears. The monotonous ticking of the clock. And the painful thumping of her heart. The two sounds enter her brain even as she covers her ears, and her dizziness gets worse.
That's strange. I'm really not sick anymore.
That's why she sent the housekeeper home.
Oh no.
She was down to her normal temperature when she checked it, and she was able to cook her own lunch. She was just fine after lunch, and she waited eagerly for his return.
I should have broken his goddamn kneecaps. It's hot.
Oh, she's gonna masturbate again.
Oh, no.
But her whole body is hot now. The heat source isn't her, so it has to be something else. Between her blood vessels, between her muscles where there are no spaces. Something that's not hers in there, turning like a car engine. Her fever is so high that it makes her imagine such a thing, and the abnormality is unprecedented. The sensation is strange and unpleasant. She isn't the only one that's in pain. It's shared by the things in her body crawling through her blood vessels and nerves. To speak figuratively, it's like puppies looking for the exit to a can filled with meat. The heat source, the things within her, are trying their best to fulfill their role. Thinking about that makes them seem charming, and she can't make herself hate the sensation.
Clock's loud.
She looks up at the clock absent-mindedly. It's 4:30. A bit longer. He should be back in half an hour. She has to calm down and suppress the things running around inside of her by then.
It's fine. It's happened many times before.
Yes, she's used to this. She's been disciplined and reformed many times since she was a child. She tells herself that it'll be no trouble this time either, but her fever does not go down, and the things within her keep speeding up.
No, this is strange, Senpai.
Her body doesn't calm down. She's never been able to. What's missing, what she needs, and what has changed? She tries hard to think about these questions, but the ticking of the clock keeps distracting her.
Huh? This sound.
When she realizes the sound's not the clock, but a warning from the house itself.
Oh, Emiya's not here? That's convenient.
Oh, it's got to be someone else, right?
Oh god, yeah, no, I'm confused. Now, who would call him Emiya?
Oh, Shinji sure would call him Emiya.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no, it is him. Okay.
I
Nissan.
see that last line.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. A familiar person enters, barefooted.
Nissan. Huh? Oh, Emiya's not here and you're getting all hot and horny by yourself? Did I use Ryder too much like the old man said?
He comes into the living room and walks over to the girl leaning against the wall. This is gonna go bad. I don't like this at all.
We might have to fast pass something. Oh.
She tries to run, but can't muster the strength. No, she had no will to run away from the start. Even if she gets away, she can never truly escape.
This is your last order, Sakura. You said you'd do anything, right?
The one looking down at her has a fixed smile.
Nissan. Let's go. I have to settle my match with Emiya. I'm sure you want to see him cry, so I'll let you see it up close.
Boy grabs her arm and hauls her to her feet.
No, I don't want to.
She tries to get away, but lacks the strength to do so. The man pulls her in and grabs her neck.
Don't disobey me so much, Sakura. You're making me want to kill you. You just have to keep obeying me. No, it's not as you promised, Nissan. You said you wouldn't do anything to Senpai.
She protests, her hair disheveled. He stops her with his foot. He's let go and kicked her stomach. Collapsing to the ground, she lets out a moan.
I'm being kind. I have the medicine I got from the old man, but I'm not using it.
He forces her to her feet. He grabs hold of the coughing girl's neck once again.
That's coughing?
man,
Listen, I thought she was just having a hard time.
No, I would not have guessed it was coughing either.
Don't worry, I'll keep my promise. I won't tell him about what happened, but I won't be satisfied until he gets hurt.
He puts his mouth close to her cheek and whispers in delight. With her neck held, she shuts her mouth in vexation. She tries to accept this turn of events, thinking that it always ends up this way.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go ahead, Sakura. This is Emiya's territory. We have to be in my territory if we're going to play around. Ryder, bring this woman with me.
Giving her a violent shove, he exits.
Ryder.
The girl raises her head. There stands a servant with long hair.
I'm so glad that didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go.
I'm home. I raise my voice as I go into the house. Then I feel something strange as soon as I enter.
The hallway, Emiya-kun.
She doesn't even need to tell me. There are footprints on the floor. The only shoes I see are Sakura's. The housekeepers aren't there, and the house is dead silent. Sakura. I go into the guest room. It's empty. The strange feeling turns into an ominous conviction. I return to the living room. Sakura isn't here either. The footprints end here in the living room. Somebody came in here with his shoes on, did something in this room, and then went back outside. Didn't it specify that Shinji was barefoot?
Yeah, that's really well. I guess his footprints are on the ground because he's got dirty footprints from outside. And that's
did he just come all the way here barefoot?
I'm guessing.
I think it could be like Ryder's shoes, if she was materialized.
Oh, Ryder footprints.
Maybe.
Look, Sweetclips knows. He's got that 7th sense, even though he always answers wrong. Emiya-kun, look at the floor there. It's small, but there's a trace of blood.
I know. Sakura's here. Yes, I know. Sakura's waiting for me alone in the living room, but it's not here now. There are unfamiliar footprints in the hallway. That's all. It's more strange not to draw a conclusion. The answer's clear if I think about it just a bit. Calmly. 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 Calmly think, and I can tell what happened here. So why? Why is my head not working at all?
Hey, Emiya-kun.
I should have come home earlier. I should have thought about it more seriously. Didn't I have Sakura stay over for fear of just this situation? Mato Zoken said Sakura's unrelated. Why did I believe his words? There's no way she's unrelated when she's part of the Mato family. So why? Why did I believe such a convenient story? The phone rings. I nod at Toska and slowly pick up the receiver.
Hello, are you finally home, Emiya?
It's Shinji. There's no mistake about it. I knew this is what happened. What have you done with Sakura?
Huh? I only took back what's mine. I can't leave her at someone else's house forever.
Shinji?
That's great, you're getting pissed. You're vexed that I took Sakura back.
Toska must be able to hear Shinji's voice, because she's leaning forward. I raise a hand to stop her and urge him to go on. Don't waste my time. Just tell me what your business is.
You should know. Let's decide our match. You don't think that last fight was the end, do you?
I do. You ran away. Everything was decided right then.
It's not decided. That's the difference in our servants, not your power. I wouldn't have run away if Saber wasn't there. There's no way I'll lose if Saber doesn't come.
You're right. You probably would win if it was just Ryder versus a person.
Yeah.
If Saber doesn't come? I see. Ryder must not have told Shinji that Saber was eliminated. Oh, that must be why he kidnapped Sakura. In short, this phone call is... Shinji, what are you going to do with Sakura?
Nothing, but that would depend on what you do. I won't do anything to Sakura if you come alone. You know what that means, right?
I stop Toska. If she interrupts now, there's no telling what Shinji will do. So you want me to fight you without Saber?
Yeah, I'm glad you're perceptive when it counts. We'll fight at school. Come alone, okay? Ryder set up a boundary field over the school. I'll know right away if you bring Saber along. If that happens, I can't guarantee what'll happen to her.
An ow is heard through the phone. I hear the sound of him kicking something. I'll go right away, but just in case, I want to know one thing. Are you a master or are you Sakura's brother?
Huh? Are you joking? Why would I be this shit's brother? Well, she's not completely useless because I can lure you out like this.
Alright. I'm gonna go fight you as a master.
Yeah, if it ends up being a fight.
I put the phone down. I start off right away.
Hold on. Are you really going to go all alone?
That's what he wanted. We can talk later, Toska.
That's my line. Shinji has Sakura as a hostage. You'll be killed if you go. Seeing you die will be unbearable for Sakura. We should wait and see and come up with a plan.
I know. But we don't have time. I can still hear her moans in my mind. I see. Would Shinji kill me in front of Sakura?
I don't know, but that's highly possible since he's using Sakura as a hostage. Hey, are you alright, Emiya-kun? You look calm, but don't tell me you've actually lost your cool.
I've lost my cool? We are in our once per out fuck up Shinji scene. It seems like, at least. I don't know that for sure, but... Is she asking me if I can only think about going to school and punching Shinji in the face?
Yes.
Oh, then... Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'm mad at myself for not saying anything, because I thought it was a family matter. He said he's not her brother. Such a guy took Sakura. He took her, so I'm going to take her back. Don't do anything, Toska. I go outside. The sky is dark and the sun's about to set. I bet it'll rain tonight. I have to come home with Sakura before that.
Oop. Hold on, didn't you join forces with me because you couldn't save people by yourself?
I stop. Her words splash cold water onto my heated brain. I'm sorry, but Sakura's in danger. I know it's suicidal to go alone, but this is all I can do.
I thought so, but I can't readily help you as long as Shinji is holding Sakura hostage. But Emiya-kun, if you can manage to get Sakura back from Shinji, I can do the rest.
You'll take care of Shinji?
Abso-fucking-lutely. No, I'm talking about Ryder. Servants are ones who fight other servants, right? I'll be hiding, so do anything you can to save Sakura. If you can manage that, I'll save you no matter what, even if you are about to die in the next second.
Archer's just got bow trained on Ryder the whole fight. Just Collad Bog lined up.
Absolutely.
Tohsaka sounds like she's trying to convince herself. This is just going to increase the burden on her. I'm fully aware of that. I got Tohsaka to help me, and now Tohsaka's trying to fulfill our promise. That convinces me. I'll rely on Tohsaka. In return, I'm going to get Sakura back. Alright, I'll leave the follow-up to you.
Yeah, but that's under the condition that you're still alive to protect Sakura. Even Archer can't protect Sakura while fighting Ryder. It's meaningless to save Sakura at the cost of your life.
The school building's deserted. Thanks to the series of comas, the school closed early. It's not even 6 o'clock, but there are no students or teachers to be seen. Can you tell where Shinji is, Tohsaka?
Knowing him, he's probably inside. I'm sure he's waiting in familiar territory on an upper floor.
That could only be one place. Shinji's in the classroom on the 3rd floor.
Fucking loser.
I'll go ahead. You come later, Tohsaka.
Okay, I'll go through the gate after 10 minutes. I didn't tell you, but a boundary field's set up here. I'll be found even if I hide my presence, so keep their attention so they don't notice me.
I nod and start running. We're really early in Shirou development this route. Like, we're not going to pop out Bakuya and Kensho.
No.
Oh, no.
It feels like we're so early in stuff to be as far along as we are, if that makes sense. Like, for
the
how
plot's
many people...
progressed a lot more than Shirou has for the usual route, I think.
Yeah, we have killed a lot of people are dead for Shirou to be like, I still punch things with my hands.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I nod and start running. There's hot steel in my back. The magic circuit's already made. I tell myself that my only weapon's meant to protect Sakura, not to harm my enemy. Oh, geez, we got a fucking sprite for this?
Mm-hmm.
I stop. On the 3rd floor hallway are a black servant and Shinji holding a knife at Sakura. You! My mind explodes. My feet start to move again. Then the black servant blocks my way. Oh, fuck, that's also me.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Stop. My master will harm her if you take another step. I slide to an abrupt halt. My mouth hurts. I'm gritting my teeth so hard they're screaming. Shinji?
Yo, just like I thought, you came flying over here. I knew you would come, alone if I told you to.
My cool brain boils up once again. My head shakes so much I almost forget about the servant in front of me. What is that? Why is he doing such a thing? I'm the one Shinji hates, right? I would have come even if he hadn't resorted to this, but... Sakura's Shinji's sister. An older brother should protect his younger sister. Family members should help each other and laugh together. So why doesn't he understand? Something I couldn't protect. Why can't he understand how Sakura must feel to have her own brother holding a knife to her? Are you serious, Shinji?
Of course, I'm using the last trump card because I'm serious. Why are you stupid even at a time like this?
Before I know it, I'm running. I can't stop till I get Sakura away from Shinji. But she's in my way. Ryder's blocking my way, protecting Shinji. I do not understand. Why did you come here? In coming here, you showed you were willing to obey my master. If you planned to fight, you should not have come alone. Ryder's right. I have to calm down. Since I obeyed Shinji, I have to think only about saving Sakura, not defeating Shinji.
Hi, Tamako.
Did that not come through?
It might have, but Tamako was also screaming, so like...
I take a deep breath and pull myself together. Shinji's enjoying my dismay with Sakura in his arms. Sakura hasn't raised her head since I arrived. She's not unconscious. She's standing unassisted. Her head is down because she doesn't want to raise it. Shinji, did you tell her about us? I glare at him, unable to hide my anger.
Oh, I see. Yeah, don't worry, Emiya. Since you wouldn't tell her, I told her everything. I told her we're both masters and tried to kill each other. Did you want to hide that from her? Are you stupid? Of course she'll find out. She knew you were hiding something, but she couldn't ask you because she's just your underclassman.
He presses the blade against Sakura's cheek. Sakura looks away, but grits her teeth so she won't raise her face.
Come on, don't be reserved and ask. Emiya won't hide anything now. See, it's your wish come true!
She doesn't reply. With her head down.
Why aren't you saying anything? I told you to ask him. I'm telling you to ask him what he thinks of you and if he hates you for finding out that you're a dirty woman of Mato.
Shinji! Her figure looks like she's apologizing to me and I can't contain myself anymore. It's fine now, right? I came here, just like I promised. Let Sakura go.
What? I didn't promise you anything. I gave you a command. I just said I wouldn't do anything to Sakura if you came alone. Don't glare so much, Emiya. I'm not a devil. I'm glad that you want to save my sister. I'll meet your sincerity if you act accordingly. I can send Sakura home once we're done.
I see. Is that a promise, Shinji?
Yeah, I'll let Sakura go if you do as I say. This is a promise, I swear.
Alright. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to get on my knees and beg?
Nope. What's the fun in making a guy beg? I brought you here to fight. I told you we're settling our match.
Ryder takes a step forward. There's no enmity or intent to kill. Ryder steps forward to obey her master.
But it's boring to just fight, right? It's not fair since I'm not a magus, and it's obvious that I'll win in a fight. So to be fair, I'll have her fight you.
Huh. Fight Ryder empty-handed, huh? That's like telling me to die.
It won't take your life. I told Ryder to go easy on you. Well, I'm sure you'll be a nuisance if you keep running around after today, so I'll have her break your limbs. Oh, you really are losing your fucking kneecaps, dude.
Ryder's not holding her dagger. It seems she really is going to go easy on me.
Isn't your job easy? You just have to stand there and get hit like a dumbass. Oh, but don't go down too soon, okay? If you faint before I'm satisfied, I'll have Sakura take the rest.
Stand there and get hit like a dumbass is so funny. Also, Shinji's just standing at a window. Why doesn't Archer just brain him?
Girl, I don't know.
Ryder comes closer. 3 more steps. Then I'll be within her reach.
That's you.
Oh, yeah. I was just making sure. I wasn't sure. Huh. Don't resist, but don't go down easily. You're contradicting yourself. What do you want, Shinji?
That's obvious, isn't it? I just want to beat the crap out of you.
Ryder springs forward. I raise both my arms in preparation for her attack. I'm about to get your shit kicked in. At that instant. That instant. An impact that almost blows the bones away with it pierces my right arm. Ugh. She aimed at my arm that was guarding my face. My arm's still attached. But it's numb and I don't feel anything. I lace my senses as fast as possible. I can't do anything barehanded. Unless I strengthen everything that can be strengthened, my limbs will be torn clean off. I have to turn my uniform into steel and turn my body into something even stronger. The next attack will kill me. A tremor runs through my left arm. The blow, like a bush hammer, penetrates through my strengthened uniform and tries to break my left arm. Strengthened uniform school. You. Both my arms have been rendered useless in a mere second. No, they do move, but I don't feel them. I can't use my deadened arms to block her attacks. If she takes another shot at my head now, I'll be knocked out for sure. Ryder's merciless. She beats me relentlessly, just as Shinji ordered. Her movements remind me of a machine. I protect my face with arms that barely move. From the start, I can't perceive Ryder's attacks to block them accordingly. I have to concentrate on guarding my head so I won't get knocked unconscious. What is Ryder thinking? Even though my arms are an easy target, she ignores them. She only hits my exposed chest and stomach. They're agonizing blows, but aren't as strong as the attacks that numb my arms. It's strange. With the strength Ryder showed at the Ryudo Temple, a single blow should be enough to tear me in half. Is she going easy like Shinji said? Well, she's going easy on me by not aiming at my face, but even with that in mind, something's not right. In short, her power's way too different. A servant's power is in direct proportion to the magical energy you can feel from them. Ryder was a strong servant back at the Ryudo Temple. But the rider before me now is the rider that was defeated at the park. I don't know what happened, but if that's the case, I still have a chance to outwit Shinji. I fall forward. Seemingly tired of using me like a punching bag, she steps forward and drives her fist into my stomach. It's like a stake gouging into my abdomen. The attack is really effective. The bruises from last night are screaming with pain. Gastric juice fills my mouth and I almost fall down to my knees.
What, is that anemia? That's pitiful. You're in front of Sakura, so take it like a man.
I fall forward. Ryder steps back and watches. Then... I grab Ryder's arm and force myself up.
That's good, Emiya. You're as persistent as a roach. You're hilarious.
Damn, that hurts. My head's spinning, even though she didn't hit me there.
But, well, this is the third-rate show. Even if we continue, it'll just be more of the same. I'm getting bored, so let's finish it off with an exciting knockout scene.
The same? Are you stupid? What's the same about this? We're standing in a different position now. Hasn't he noticed that I switched positions with Ryder when I pulled myself up using her arm? Oh, we're gonna get a fucking hit on Shinji. Is this Ryder?
I think so.
Oh yeah, it must be. There are about 5 more meters. Your patience has won out. What? I raised my head. What did Ryder just say?
Enough resting. Start the second round, Evia.
Ryder shakes off my hand. The black servant resumes her attacks with the artificiality of a machine. Oh. I'm being pushed back. To avoid finishing me off, Ryder's attacks stay clear of my vital areas. My body's numb. I'm bruised everywhere I got hit, and I don't feel pain anymore. It's because the pain from within is worse than her attacks. Ryder has attacked me to destroy my body. Prepare yourself. The black servant closes the distance with an emotionless voice. And in that moment, I'm certain. This isn't part of Shinji's plan. Ryder's decision not to go for my head, and that I can still move my body. It's not because Shinji ordered her to go easy on me, but...
Alright, you don't have to hold back anymore. Kill him, Ryder. Son, stop.
Ryder's hair flutters as she steps in.
Oh, I'm sorry, my hand stopped working.
And hits me in the chest with her most powerful strike yet. Ugh! I can't breathe. I don't feel the ground anymore. Her attack almost blows me unconscious, even though I knew it was coming.
Senpai.
I hear a scream and delighted laughs. I fly through the air. Sakura's voice is close. I fall. Under normal circumstances, I would have hit the floor and died. The impact of the fall doesn't matter. It's an attack strong enough to blow a human away. It wouldn't be surprising if the strike blew a hole in my chest. Ah! But I'm alive. Anyone can jump back if the timing's set so perfectly. That attack wasn't meant to kill me. She's kept me conscious and mobile, not because of Shinji's order, but of her own free will. Now. The range is perfect. I turn my body right before I hit the ground, straighten myself instantly.
I'm guessing I'm the one that says, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
And grab the knife in front of me with my left hand. I catch it by the blade. I don't care about it digging into my hand because it's numb.
What?
I raise my other arm. Without a thought for the pain. I punch him square in the face with my clenched fist. Ah! I throw away the knife. Trying not to look at the blood, I run to where Sakura is sitting. Sakura!
Senpai.
Sakura doesn't raise her head to look at me. She's trying to avoid talking to me. I don't know if it's because of Shinji or because of all the things I've hidden from her. All I can tell is that Sakura's body's hotter than this morning. It's fine. Let's talk later. We'll go home for now and... That's gotta be Rin.
Yeah. It's over. The match is decided, Shinji.
Then, I realize that Tosuka's behind me. After being wounded by Archer, Ryder's crouching down on the floor. Her clothes are wet with blood. Even though it's not fatal, she shouldn't be able to continue fighting.
Tohsaka? Damn, that's not fair. You broke your promise, Emiya. I told you to come alone. Yeah, but that was an order, not a promise, right? Then I think it's illogical to call it unfair. That's sophistry. It's natural for him to come alone since he'll said he'll come alone. That's fine. We were together, but Emiya-kun didn't ask me for help. I came here because I wanted to. You're lying. Why are you here if he didn't get you? Emiya acted honest and tricked me. Oh, that? That's simple. I was next to him when you called. You had such a loud voice, Mato-kun. I was able to hear you, even though Emiya-kun was trying to hide it. Do you understand now? There's no way I'd just sit there if Sakura's been kidnapped. You lured Emiya-kun to you at the price of making me your enemy. So you're here for Sakura too? Sakura. I don't believe this. Are you so concerned about it? She's just a quiet bitch that shrinks with fear. Look, I'm a master. You shouldn't worry about them. You should just be concerned about me. I see. Then why don't you make your servant fight? Archer only cut her stomach. He hasn't destroyed the core of her embodiment, her neck, or her heart. Go ahead and heal Ryder if you're a legitimate master. Damn you.
Shinji scrambles away and takes out a book.
That's
That's Shinji's command spell that burned up at the park. He still has it?
Get up, Ryder. It's your master's order. Get up and beat Archer.
There's no reply. Ryder's crouching, motionless. A puddle of blood's under her, and the blood keeps flowing. She's the one who needs help right now. To order her to fight's to hasten her death.
Damn, you're my servant, so fight until you die, you bitch!
Shinji's fingers tighten on the book. That must be how he uses his command spell. With trembling movements, Ryder tries to stand. Stop. That's enough, Shinji. Give up. Ryder will die if you push her anymore.
Servants don't die that easily. You just shut up and take care of that piece of trash.
Shinji does not relent. I let go of Sakura and rush him again. At that instant.
This has to be Ryder, right?
I would say it's Sakura. Yeah.
No, no more.
Sakura? I stop and turn back. Clutching her stomach, she moans as if in the throes of a nightmare.
What?
Shinji's book burns to ashes, just as it did that night. What? Wind blows inside the enclosed hallway. It's coming from Ryder, who is lying on the ground, and from Sakura, who's still crouching.
No way, this is Ryder.
Tosuka stands ready while Archer silently watches the enemy that stood up. Ryder's completely healed. The power flowing from her body is just like when she was at the Ryudo Temple. Then, her figure disappears. Ryder suddenly disappears from my vision.
To town, Emiya-kun.
The moment I duck, long hair flutters right above me. Sakura! Ryder's instantly jumped with Sakura in hand. She lands opposite us, between Shinji and the rest of us.
Huh? What are you doing? Who told you to bring Sakura?
No, there is no such order. As a servant, I merely protected my master. Ryder lets Sakura down and glances at Shinji. Her eyes are covered with a leather mask, but her expression is frighteningly cold.
Don't be stupid. I'm your master. Why are you wasting time instead of protecting me?
Shinji, a command spell appears on the body of a master. I have never accepted anyone who does not bear the holy sign as my master.
What?
You are a fraud. You've lost the book which granted you false ownership, so I can no longer obey you. Ryder turns away from Shinji. That motion tells Shinji that she'll never look at him again.
I see. So that's how it was, Ryder.
Your guess is correct, Archer's master. You already knew, did you not?
Yeah, I knew it was strange. There's no way one of the Matos would be chosen as a master. Their bloodline has grown thin, so no magi should be born to them. So it shouldn't be possible for Shinji, one of the Mato family, to become a master. The Rider was summoned and a person from the Mato household was chosen as a master. Oh shit.
No, I think it's all been read.
Okay. Yes, I thought Mato Zoken summoned you and entrusted you to Shinji. It's actually much more simple. Zoken doesn't need to do anything because the most appropriate person in the Mato household to be a master is...
Tohsaka isn't looking at Ryder. She's only looking at...
the legitimate successor of Mato. This generation's magus of the Mato line. It's you, Sakura.
She's looking straight at Sakura. Huh? I can't say anything. Tohsaka and Sakura. I can only look at them alternately and try to figure out what was just said. My left hand hurts. My relaxed mind finally starts to inform me of the pain on my hand. I see. It seems my mind is calm. Tohsaka's words and the sight of the command spell on Sakura's left hand have numbed my senses, but my mind isn't surprised at all. Only, why? Why did such a thing happen? Sakura's hanging her head as if trying to hide. Judging by her body language, she didn't want me to know. Transfer of a command spell ordering her to obey Mato Shinji. Ryder became Shinji's servant with that, and Sakura lost her right as the master at the same time, becoming an ordinary magus. So when Tohsaka first had Sakura show her her arm, she'd already given her command spell to Shinji. Sakura bites her lips. Both of them? Then.
Damn, again, Sakura, you have to give me the right to control her again.
Shinji runs to her as if begging her.
Hey, say something! You don't want to fight, right? You said you didn't want to be a master, so that's why I took over in your place. Why are you pretending to be a good girl now?
Shinji raises his arm. His fury is overflowing, but there's no need for me to stop him.
Ryder, are you going to disobey me?
You are not my master, Shinji. Even if you are her brother, if you intend to harm Sakura, I will kill you. Ryder releases him. Shinji backs away, clutching his arm where Ryder gripped it.
I see. You'll regret that, Ryder. No matter what you say, everything will be back to normal when Sakura makes another book. Do you know what'll happen to you once you become my servant again? It's useless, Shinji. It's almost impossible to entrust a servant to a human, and someone that's not a magus at that. The transfer using the command spell made it possible. Yeah, there's one more command spell. Sakura won't disobey me, so... That's why this is it. Sakura only has one more command spell. If you use it, you'll have no way to control Ryder. Ryder would be freed. You can't bind a servant with a fake right made with a command spell. He'll just burn your book like earlier, even if you order Ryder. What? Then I'm... Yes, you lost your chance to be a master. No, you were never a master, as you were only controlling her using a fake command spell.
Back runs through. With a sound, the existence of Mato Shinji breaks.
I see. So it was impossible from the beginning. I have no talent. The old man cast me aside as a failure, and I was pitied by my sister. It's only natural. I knew it. 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 I knew from the beginning that I'm not suited. Nissan. No, don't worry about it, Sakura. This was all just a farce. I knew that I have no talent. Here the family's heir. There was no need for me to put in. Nissan. Yeah, I know. So, Sakura, you continue. Huh? Fight them in my place! Look, Sakura, Rin and Tohsaka are enemies. If you're the successor, Mito, then you know that you have to do now. Shinji, haven't you heard a thing I've said? Sakura won't fight, and you have no right. We won't attack you since you don't have Rider anymore. Just stay in hiding until the Holy Grail War ends. I'm not asking you. Come on, Sakura, I'm telling you, you're going to obey me like always, right?
There's no reply. Sakura clenches her fist, turns her back to Shinji.
I don't want to. Let's stop, Nissan.
And clearly refuses his order.
Sakura, what did you just say? I don't want to. You broke your promise. You said you wouldn't kill Senpai, but you broke our promise. So...
Sakura doesn't turn to look at Shinji. Shinji looks at it like someone else's matter and laughs. I feel a chill, and in that instant...
Alright, then you can die.
I hear the sound of glass breaking. Sakura falls. Her knees lose strength and she falls to the ground.
Sakura, if you're going to hold a grudge, don't hold it at me, but hold it against that old man for making your body like that. Well, you were going to end up like that anyway. It's better for you to be free from the pain now.
Shinji runs away.
Fucking Subin.
Sakura tears at her chest. Her earring breaks and chemical-like liquid is pouring out of it.
No.
She goes into convulsions. No, it's worse. Sakura's shaking so bad it seems like she's going to crumble like a building in an earthquake. Sakura! I don't get what's going on. In my worry, I run to her.
Well, don't you understand what's going on?
Someone stops me. I don't know when he got here, but Archer's grabbing my shoulder.
Woo! Shit, thought that was Rin! Oops!
Fool, don't you understand what's going on?
You're gonna read all the rest of the lines?
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to.
You're just being funny, I understand. I was like, alright, we're just gonna read it from the top, I guess.
Get away from here. You will not be able to restore her if you feed her without care. Archer pushes me back and says something strange. Feed her? What do you mean? The question dies in my throat. The hallway tints red. The air becomes a mist, moistening our skin, and every wall starts to sweat like honey.
Ew.
Ew. Ow. Ah. My chest is burning. This air. This red world's a different world made by magic. This must be a boundary field that melts everything within its framework on this premise. Hey, we haven't done that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Tohsaka, this is... I can't breathe. No, the mist clogs my throat and burns me from the inside when I breathe.
It's the boundary field Shinji set up here, but it's much stronger now that Sakura is Rider's master.
What? I look. On the other side of the hallway is Sakura, clawing at her chest in agony. And Ryder, who's confronting Archer to protect Sakura. Move aside, Ryder. Your master's running wild. She'll be addicted to it unless you stop before she gets a taste of another's magical energy. I refuse. My role is to protect my master. I cannot let you through as long as you're trying to kill Sakura. Oh, so you'll stand there and let your master die? Your master's using up magical energy at a high rate. Do you understand that she'll certainly die if you leave her alone? No. She can avoid death if she takes in more magical energy than she loses. Fortunately, there are 2 magi here. Shinji escaped, but they cannot escape now. I shall take your master before Sakura is consumed. Ha! So your character doesn't change even with a new master, huh? It seems you value yourself over other people's lives. That goes for you too. You're trying to protect your master by ignoring mine. I see. There's no need for either one of us to hold back. Archer charges. Without heed for the corrosive boundary field, he rushes it where Sakura still crouches on the ground. And he clashes with Ryder as she blocks his way. Hey, are you okay with this, Tohsaka? He started fighting with Ryder.
Of course they have to fight. We won't last like this, and as a fellow magus, I have to prevent Sakura from becoming a heretic.
Huh? Heretic? Are those people who use magic against the law of the association, or people who can't stop the magic circuit and destroy themselves? Wait, what is that? Why Sakura?
She's running wild. Ryder made this boundary field, but Sakura's the one maintaining it. I don't know what Shinji did, but Sakura's attacking indiscriminately now. But Sakura's like us. It's just painful and she just wants air, so she's sucking on other people's air. Or magical energy in this case. I can't leave her be as a supervisor of Fuyuki.
What? You can't leave her be? What are you gonna do to Sakura?
Ask Archer. I only know of one way to stop a magus like that, but Archer might know of some other way. Oh, we have to do something about Ryder before that anyway. From what I can see, Archer's the stronger of the two, but it seems his output is down.
Output is down.
Oh my god, hold on. Hamado, please! Can you stop?
I look back at the hallway. Archer's overwhelming, even in my eyes. In terms of pure power, he's stronger. There's no way that Ryder can hold him back. But it's strange. Ryder's strength is her agility. She shouldn't be good at fights where she has to protect someone. Being forced to protect someone should put her at a disadvantage. Archer should have already defeated her and moved on to Sakura. But that's not the case, so could Ryder be overwhelming him? Ugh! Archer's sword swings through empty air. Her hair flowing as she moves, Ryder arches back and avoids the attack, then steps in and slashes at Archer. But Ryder isn't the only one who attacks and defends at the same time. Archer repels Ryder's dagger with his other sword and pushes her back. Advance and retreat. They're evenly matched. Archer cannot press forward, Ryder cannot force him back, and they consequently clash swords without any progress. Ugh. The impatient one's Archer. There is enemies weaker than him, he can't repel her, and the boundary field's slowly taking his energy. And to add, Tohsaka and I are at our limits. Just stopping our breaths is painful, so being in the hallway stabs at our minds. At this pace, we'll fall before Archer defeats Ryder. Damn. Archer clucks his tongue in annoyance. There. I understand your power. I'm sorry, but you cannot defeat me. Ryder stops and makes an announcement in a regretful voice. What? I said you cannot beat me. You're not using your noble phantasm. I don't know if your master's forbidden you from doing so, or if you're concerned for Sakura's safety. Regardless, if you will not use it, this is it. You cannot defeat me. Planting her feet, her only weapon, Ryder confronts Archer. She looks so defenseless, the match could be decided if Archer attacked her now. Ha! I'm not worried for your master. I just think there's no need. And you cannot use your noble phantasm either. Mato Shinji was your master until just now. You don't have enough magical energy stocked up to use it. Yes, Shinji could not give me magical energy, so I cannot use my noble phantasm right now. That's right. There's no need to waste my magical energy against an opponent who won't use it. That's right. There's no need. It's hard to tell when you're reading it.
I honestly I thought you were right, dude.
There's no need to waste my magical energy against an opponent who won't use it. I'll slash you with my next attack. Proceed and slash that girl, and everything will end. Yes, let's say that's how it'll be. It'll be easier for me to kill you if that's the case. Ryder answers calmly. What does she intend to do? Without even readying her weapon, Ryder stands against Archer. I would assume that's Sakura.
Yeah. No, Ryder.
But stops when she hears the voice. Please endure there, Sakura. I will solve everything.
Stop, please stop, Ryder. I didn't call for you for something like this.
I cannot follow that order. Your life takes priority above all else. Ryder raises her arm. There's 4 meters between her and Archer. Maintaining that distance, the Black Servant puts her hands on her face and... Also, this is what you wished for, Sakura.
Gonna take your kneecaps!
She releases the Black Seal. Everything solidifies at that instant. Ryder's naked eyes. One of the highest rank among numerous mystic eyes. Have we seen these before in other routes?
Nope.
Okay.
She's gotten clapped so early in all the other routes.
Yeah. Gray eyes. They look like crystals, and they're too abnormal to be called eyeballs. The corneas do not take in light. The pupil sees the world through a square.
She's got them fucking frog eyes from Naruto.
She went sage mode. The iris is solidified, not allowing the eyes to close. The millions of cells that make up the retina are composed of ether. Are they art that the gods admired, or are they nature that the gods cursed? Ryder's gray eyes are abnormal, and at the same time, too beautiful for any human to have. Archer's frozen in place. It must be because he saw her eyes from such close range. His eyes are frozen even if he wants to close them, and his arms are frozen even if he wants to cover his eyes. He tries to charge forward and slash at Ryder, but his legs are already petrified up to his knees.
No way. Mystic eyes of petrification?
Hosuka's voice is almost a scream. We haven't said her name in any of the routes, have we?
No.
I see. I can't tell what kind of face she's making. My eyes are also captivated by Ryder's mystic eyes, and I can't look away. My blood's thickening. The flow is solidified, my senses are ceased. Mystic eyes. A single action magic that Magi have. It takes the eyes, passive receptors of the world, and makes them function actively to influence the world. It indiscriminately casts its magic upon anyone within sight, though the effect is vastly increased if the target meets your gaze. In short, it's something not to be looked at, and it's a frightening magical nature that entraps anyone that looks at them. Their abilities and concealable nature make the Mystic Eyes proof of a first-rate magus. The technique to make one's own eyes into a magic circuit is close to that of a magic crest. But then, artificial Mystic Eyes only have strong enough powers to cast Charm or Whisper. Possessors of truly powerful mystic eyes are always born with them. Binding, coercion, contract, burning, illusion, extreme luck. Mystic eyes that directly intervene with another's fate are called noble color, and among the highest ranked of them are the eyes of petrification. No magus of this age possesses these eyes.
We knew all this? Like, Shirou himself knew this?
His inner monologue for Shirou, so maybe Kiritsugu was really into eyes too.
Yeah, whoa.
There are only a few magi that make petrification magic possible. How great a miracle is it to be possible to petrify others just by looking? Raker Gorgon. It is the curse of the gods sealed by the powers of shrines. It is said that such evil eyes were only possessed by evil beasts and spirits in the age of gods. The magical noble phantasm that can petrify people with its glance, the symbol of the heroic spirit Medusa.
That's my boyfriend?
Yeah. Yeah, Gil's not here.
I have lots of boyfriends. Is this
Get away, Rin. The real attack is coming. Fuck, sorry.
It's okay.
Archer screams, his body now petrified up to his waist. Beyond him, a dark red wave is expanding from within Ryder, who's released her mystic eyes.
Wait, even if you tell me.
Tosuka's moving too slowly.
Fuck.
Something terrible is flowing forth from the other side of the hallway. The wave becomes sharp like a spear and aims straight at Tosuka. She'll die. Tosuka must be more entranced than me as she can't even move a step. Unable to dodge, she'll be impaled by the spear. With the scene of several seconds in the future in mind, Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, with the scene of several seconds in the future in mind,
Hold Tosuka's hand.
we grab her hand, right?
Or we close our eyes and tackle. I think, so they said like...
Ryder's way too far away for tackling.
They mentioned that the eyes work better if you make eye contact, but they still work without it. Right.
And we haven't made eye contact?
Well, I'm saying even if we close our eyes,
Uh-huh.
it's not like we're just going to be immune because our eyes are closed.
Right.
So I think we pull Tosuka's hand. That could be wrong, though. The game likes to fuck with us. I think I can't do anything's a lame-ass answer.
Yeah, I believe that is the wrong one. But I feel like Tosuka's hand... Because she's unable to dodge, so all we're doing is influencing her dodging abilities, right? We're just buying ourselves some time.
There's no time to think. I can still move my legs and arms. Then I just need to move forward and pull Tosuka. Fucking speared.
We're absolutely getting impaled in this moment. I have so much fear.
Tosuka!
What?
Tosuka doesn't even budge when I grab her arm and pull. Oh. It seems she's heavier than she looks.
Oh no.
Damn, you're heavy! She doesn't move even when I pull with both my arms. Then all that's left is getting fucking speared. Damn, just move! I charge her to push her away.
Oh, we're fucking clapped.
Oh, bad end. Ow.
You know, we get hit a lot and we're always fine.
Well,
We ran with a whole chain
I
in
wouldn't
our
say
body.
always.
Shh.
And the sheath doesn't work. Saber's dead.
Oh shit, sorry.
I hear a dull, piercing sound.
What are you doing?
Oh. I can't hear her voice clearly. My body's burning. Everything's hazy as though I have a high fever.
Senpai?
A familiar voice from a distance. Maybe we just need to snap Sakura out of it by getting gravely injured.
Yeah.
My sense of reality is fading. My mind whites out. My left arm bleeds red, mixing like paint.
No.
I see Sakura staring at me as I fall to the floor,
No!
and she falls to the ground like a puppet with its strings cut. Oh, yeah, we're dead.
Oh, for sure.
Oh. Oh. Just kidding?
Dunny? How do you feel?
What's supposed to happen?
Have you calmed down?
Sitting on the church's long bench, I nod silently.
I see, and there's no need for treatment. Your wounds should all heal as your energy returns, so just rest for now.
Did we pick the right answer?
This is weird. No, this is so strange. Tosuka sits a bit away from me. Are we like paralyzed? The distance between our minds is much greater than this. There's no idle conversation as we wait for Kotomine. My left hand screams with pain when I clench it. It feels like there's a nail driven through my palm. The cut from grabbing the knife hurts more than the bruises from Ryder, or the stab wound from Sakura.
We're allowed to pick the wrong one, Sweet Lips.
Dark clouds block the view of the night sky. The rain clouds tell me it's going to rain soon. I guess the spear-like thing that attacked Tosuka was Sakura's magic. The magical nature that the Moto household inherits is absorption. When lack of magical energy made Sakura suffer, she unconsciously cast the spell. Oh fuck, did we feed her? Is that how we would bad end here?
Probably.
She probably aimed at Tosuka because she had the most magical energy there. It stabbed and entangled her in my arm because I pushed Tosuka away, and it sucked all the magical energy out of me. Magical energy is life force. It's natural for me to lose consciousness when it's sucked out of me. I'd already used up my energy when I fought Ryder, so I easily fell unconscious, and Tosuka brought me to the church after that.
Can you grow up, please?
I hear Sakura fainted when she saw me fall. I haven't decided if this is the bad end yet or not.
Fuck me if I know, dude. She attacked herself?
Tosuka murmurs and explaining that she's getting treated in the back right now. It seems Sakura's in critical condition. Oh god. The liquid that came out of her earring was poison, and Kotomine's purifying it now. Tosuka doesn't say anything. Neither Archer nor Ryder are here. Only the two of us are in the church, waiting for Kotomine's return. Fuck, we're treating the poison too? Maybe this was right. Or we're gonna die in 4 days.
You know, it could go either way.
Tosuka. Still sitting down, I call out to her.
What?
I want to ask you something.
I thought so. Fine, I'll tell you. It's no use hiding it from you, and it's meaningless to do so now. So you want to ask about Sakura?
I nod. Tosuka takes a deep breath and starts to talk in a normal tone.
It all started quite some time ago. The Mato blood started to run thin, and their children were born with fewer and fewer magic circuits. The family is originally from another country, so I think the land of Japan didn't suit them. Their decline started when they started living here, and the magic circuit finally disappeared in this generation when Shinji was born. The history of Mato ended with that. They should have taken an apprentice or something if they wanted their quest to continue, but the Matos are a distinguished family, and to the last they refused to take in an outsider. As a result, their successors had less magical energy, and it finally ran out in the end. They finally started looking for an apprentice when that happened, but no magus would come to a fallen family. Hundreds of years of Makiri history should have ended at that time. But they weren't people who could give up then. Shinji's father adopted a child and taught the child magic. So, I expect you wouldn't know because your family's a special case, but a family of magi hands down its secrets to only one child. They don't teach magic to any other children. Soken said this, right? If there is a sibling, one is your successor, while the others raised normally are put up for adoption.
There's no need for 2 successors. In a case of siblings, no. Sisters, what would be done to the one who wasn't needed? Some may raise her and hide from her the fact they're a family of magi. But that's difficult and inefficient. If they train their magic circuit over many generations, it would not be their wish to waste the excellent gene, even if she's not chosen as successor. Does this feel like it should be in quotes? Then, Tohsaka.
Yes, I had a sister a year younger than me. The declined Bateau family had no hopes of someone giving them a child for adoption. It's only natural for them to rely on the Tohsaka family, the ones they held a pact with for a long time. I don't know which one of us my dad intended to make a successor, but I remained a Tohsaka and she was taken to the Bateau family. That was 11 years ago. I couldn't go see her much after that. It was an agreement made with Mato, and I couldn't readily go see the successor of the Matos.
I see. Then you and Sakura are...
Real sisters. Well, we never called each other like that.
I don't know how much emotion is contained in those simple words. But that makes me understand. Why she always asked about Sakura. Why she didn't let Archer use his double phantasm. That's good. You're on Sakura's side. A dim light shines into the gloom of my mind. I don't know what's going to happen to Sakura, or what she's going to do from now on. But if Tohsaka cares for Sakura, there just might be hope waiting on the ominous path ahead.
No, I'm not her ally or anything.
But Tohsaka denies me as if reading my thoughts. Not her ally.
Right, if Sakura can't be cured, I'll dispose of her, just like I would with any other enemy. I can't sit idly by while a mage just indiscriminately attacks people. If Kirei can't treat Sakura, then I'll just have to get rid of her myself.
What are you saying? Sakura's your sister. She... Don't ever say something like that.
Sakura is a child of the Matos. She stopped being my sister 11 years ago.
Tohsaka, you...
The outcome won't change even if Sakura is my family, as you say. It wouldn't change anything. In fact, that would give you even less right to interfere.
Then you're... no different from Shinji. Well... but...
Harsh?
Yeah. Like, oh, I have to kill her to save the town versus is very different.
Mm-hmm.
But before I can say the worst thing possible.
What are you doing? The operation is complete, but she is still in critical condition. If you want to make a commotion, go do so outside.
Kotomine came out and say, shut the fuck up out here.
He's like, can you guys stop, please?
Kotomine Kirei emerges from the back of the church. Alright, you're gonna be the bottom one. I'll do a little countdown.
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
On go.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
Kirei
Kotomine, Sakura.
I can't tell if you two are on bad terms or in good harmony.
Uh-oh.
You're just mistaken.
I see. Oh, fuck, why did I say that?
You want to be Kirei? I see.
Kirei's a fun voice.
Yeah, then sit down. I shall explain the state Mato Sakura is in. Don't you know every time we go to the church, I do all the talking? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Taking our separate seats, we listen intently to the priest. Oh, please, talk to me about the dickworms.
Stop! Meh. To put it simply, there is a foreign substance, a worm, in Mato Sakura's body. The worm is called crestworm. It is like an artificial Sanshi, the three corpses. Do you recognize this name?
I shake my head. Sanchi, a bug said to inhabit a human body that reports the person's evil deeds to the judge of hell. I've heard of Sanchi, but I've never heard of a crest worm.
So you do not know. Well, it was originally just a harmless parasite. It's a familiar that lives off of its host's magical energy. It is of the lowest rank of familiars, as it does nothing beyond telling its master whether or not its host still lives. I see, so it's like a monitoring device. So Zokin's monitoring Sakura with that? Oh, when it was decided that Mito Zokin is the master of the crustworm? I'm sorry, but I'm in no mood for your long talk. Who else but that old bastard would do something like that to Sakura? I see, that is certainly true. Mito Shinji cannot use crestworms, so it can only be that vampire.
I did kind of forget Kirei hates him.
Right, just go ahead and tell me the result. Can Sakura be saved or not? You are being hasty, Rin. You seem to understand her condition, but the boy does not. We should explain for his sake, right? Absolutely.
He says, looking at the audience. Tosca looks away awkwardly. Judging by her expression, she doesn't want me to find out.
Well, what shall we do, Emiya Shirou? Rin says she just wants to know the result.
No, please explain things in order, Kodamine. I'm sorry for Tosaka, but I can't yield to her about this. If this has to do with Sakura's life, I have to know everything about it.
Then let me continue. The crestworm I explained earlier is undermining Mito Sakura's nerves. It must be the result of 11 years spent growing within her. The crestworm has turned into a nerve like a magic circuit, and it is entangled with her own, swarming all throughout her body. It is transformed into her magic crest. Under normal circumstances, it is suspended, having no effect on Mito Sakura's body. But once activated, it will violate Mito Sakura's nerves and will keep moving using her magical energy. That's what happened earlier. The crestworm roamed through her body, absorbing her magical energy. Had she remained in that state for half a day, she would certainly have died. The crestworm would suck all of her magical energy as its power, then eat her flesh as nutrition. It means she would have had her body consumed after her magical energy was sucked dry. If you have a magical crest, you should well know how painful it is. Even the faintest trace of a foreign substance puts a human body through discomfort, and can even be life-threatening. Having another creature entwining its nerves with your own, moving within you, would easily be enough to kill you. In that regard, I'm surprised Mito Sakura was conscious until just now. I do not know if Mito Sakura has a strong will, or if she's just used to the crestworm's activation. We will need to ask her if she wants this answered, if we want this answered.
I hear a sound. It's the sound of my teeth grinding. If you have a magic crest, you should well know how painful it is. I couldn't possibly know. I cover myself in sweat just to insert one magic circuit into my body. Sakura has it several times worse. I couldn't even guess at her pain.
Hold on, you said if it's Sorry, she was on the screen, now I'm confused.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure.
Maybe
I assume Rin knows how it works, but because she was the one like, don't explain it. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah. You're gonna read it.
Hold on. You said if it's activated, right? Then the crestworm isn't usually active?
That is correct. The poison put on her only awakens the crestworm. The crestworm is only an observation device. It is only activated as punishment for the host, Mito Sakura, when she breaks a certain condition.
Just listening to his words makes me go crazy. I know it's not something Kodamine did, but I almost attack him for saying that. I suppress my selfish emotion and... What is the condition? I urge him to go on and tell me the heart of the matter.
Mito Sakura fell and Rin tried to save her, but Ryder prevented her from doing so. Then the condition is obvious. To abandon the battles as a master, that should be the restriction of the crestworm. She has approved of the battles by entrusting Ryder to Shinji, but the Crestworm will torment her as she refuses it now. It has calmed down for now, but the Crestworm will keep tormenting her. It will tell her, "What are you doing? If you are truly a master, then go kill the other masters. If you cannot, I will eat you and kill you." That's the condition Sakura must— oh. That's the condition Sakura must follow? It seems so. Nothing else seems likely. No, I feel like this is you. Yeah.
Then, can't she just not be a master? If she uses up her command spell and cancels the contract with her servant, she won't be a master anymore.
I would not recommend that. I told you that the condition of the Crestworm's activation is to abandon her duty as a master. If she cancels her contract with Ryder, the Crestworm will consume her for sure. I see, so she can fight and survive, or refuse to fight and be killed by the Crestworm. Those are the only options Sakura has, right? Right. The Crestworm will torment its host for as long as the Holy Grail War continues. If her condition keeps up, her body will not last long, and her mind will be destroyed. She has a magic crest all over her body, after all. You should understand how absurd that is, Rin. Yeah, even though it should be familiar with my body, I still periodically get the urge to cut off my arm. I'm like this with one arm, so her function as a human being should be violated if she has it all over her body. She's no magus, but a cluster of magic circuits. The human mind should be overridden by the wave of magical energy.
What? Then Sakura's...
She's in danger if her condition keeps up. I don't know how many more days she can last, but the Crestworm will spread further with each successive day. She will die if we cannot remove it before it infects her whole body, but her body will not last that long in any case. The only thing I did was to purify. The surgery to call back her lost magical circuit and mind is after this, but the chance of success is very low. That is all. To sum everything up, Mito Sakura cannot be saved. Are you satisfied now, Emiya Shirou?
Not really. There's no way I'm satisfied.
Like, yeah, what the fuck?
Shirou Kenny strikes again.
Thought you didn't like that word.
I have to accept that after the emails. Sakura can't be saved? That's ridiculous. She was doing so well until yesterday, so why are things like this now? What about removing it? Can't you extract the Crestworm? If you know it's there, you should be able to take it out, right?
Extraction would be difficult. The Crestworm has already integrated itself into her magic circuits. Even the one who implanted it wouldn't be able to extract it now. Yes, if you want to extract it, you would have to rely on a miracle. Or the Holy Grail. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. The Holy Grail. Holy Grail. So that's where it ends up, huh? Sakura's only choice is to keep fighting as a master. And the power of the Holy Grail is the only thing that can save her? I understand the situation now, Kirei. Let me thank you. Fuck. She said Kirei, and I was like, she doesn't call him that.
I understand the situation now, Kiri. Let me thank you.
She bows without showing much gratitude and confronts the priest.
But isn't this too sudden? The Crestworm wasn't implanted in her yesterday, so why did she suddenly reach her limit? Why do you ask that now? Mito Sakura's body was tampered with many years ago. The changes were so extensive that even her hair and eye colors no longer reflect her heritage. This did not start recently. Well, it seems it... Oh, fuck, now I don't know. Is he still monologuing? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it seems it was never intended to kill her as it's doing now. It seems Mito Zoken did not intend to use Mito Sakura in this war. She is not adjusted to fighting. I would assume she was treated that way because unexpected conditions were met. Unexpected conditions, huh? I don't know what those are, but that means Sakura suddenly won Zoken's confidence? Probably. I would assume some change occurred within her that Zoken did not expect. But that is only one factor. There are other reasons for her drastic change. She is now constantly using magical energy to maintain her servant. If she cannot spare any for her Crestworm, what will the starving worm do? I see. Regardless of the conditions, it'll drain her body to acquire the magical energy it's not getting. But she wouldn't lose magical energy if she doesn't use riders, so... Yes, she should be able to live as before for a while. But I don't think the old man will leave Mato Sakura alone. Right, he wouldn't plant a creature like that in her otherwise. The worm will kill her if she doesn't fight. And her body will also be destroyed if she fights and uses up magical energy. No, not only that, but Soken can do anything he wants with Sakura because he's the one who planted the worm in her.
You can use Sakura? Yeah, Shirou, keep up.
He's just a little slow. So, yes, Zoken is holding Sakura's life in his hands, so defeating Zoken is the only way to save Sakura. Oh, that's the wrong person. I think?
I think that's Rin.
Okay. Yes, Zoken is holding Sakura's life in his hands, so defeating Zoken is the only way to save Sakura. But Emiya-kun, you have to defeat Sakura before you can defeat Zoken. She's his puppet. I'm sure he would use her as his shield if you corner him. Exactly. Mato Sakura is a convenient tool for Soken. He will control Mato Sakura as he instigated Mato Shinji. In fact, she is as superior as a master. She is urged on by her worm, and she will run even wilder than Mato Shinji, just like Soken wants. But I will be a bit irritated if everything goes his way. I will perform the surgery on Mato Sakura. I have purified her poison and oh my god, how do you say that word? Anesthetize? Anesthetize?
Anemone.
Anemone? Anesthetize?
Yeah.
Bro, help.
It's anesthesia. It's an anesthesiologist.
Anesthetize.
Anesthetize. I don't know, dude. Anesthetized?
Anesthetize? Okay, hold on.
Anesthetized just can't. Where'd the S go? You move the S. Anesthetize. Anesthetize. Okay.
Anesthetized?
Anime thighs.
Anime thighs? Here, hold on.
Anesthetize.
Anesthetized?
Anesthetize. That's what Pedro Rage said.
Anesthetize.
Anesthetized? No.
Anesthetize.
Anesthetize.
Anesthetized.
So, like, anesthetize.
Hey. Not
What?
an
Anesthetize. Yeah. Like,
I have purified
A
her
book.
poison and anesthetized her. The healing and extraction of the crestworm will be performed next. Oop, playing fake on the side, you can hear it now.
God damn it.
Huh? Hey, Kirei. It is hopeless, but I will do my best. I cannot simply allow Mato Sakura to die, and what sort of priest would I be if all I could do was rely on the Holy Grail?
Tosuka's surprise is natural. His words are surprising even to me, and I've only known him for a short while. This isn't a guess, but a conviction. Kotomine is seriously trying to save Sakura. It might just be because he's a priest, but this is too much, even for that.
What's going on? This is the first time I've seen you support someone like this. It's not just a whim, it is simply too wasteful to let her die. Well, I suppose it's better for the two of you to have another master eliminated.
The priest's response is plain. Tosuka glares at the priest.
Oh no. I'll leave her to you. I'm going to come back when the surgery should be over.
And leaves the church with those words.
Look, it's illegal to make fun of us.
Tosuka, well, you make fun of me all the time. Tosuka leaves. Together at once. And the church regains its silence. The priest silently sees Tosuka off, and I can't even stand up because I can't think of anything.
What are you doing? You are of no use to me here. I want no distractions. Go kill some time until the surgery ends.
I won't bother you. I trust you when it comes to surgeries. Why? You helped that woman before, too. Oh, fair enough.
Huh, the skill of the surgery is much greater than before. Mato Sakura stopped herself by shooting herself. She is suffering from auto-intoxication, probably because she harmed you. To put it simply, she killed her own mind to stop herself since she was controlled by Zoken. Jesus. The procedure I'm about to perform is like starting a heart that has stopped. Well, the crestworm has kept her body alive. If all I have to do is recover her mind, it should succeed. But your presence here is a liability. If you come barging in when you hear her scream, I will certainly fail. In any case, you bear no responsibility for her sufferings. You and Mato Sakura are strangers now.
Strangers?
I am telling you not to have any sympathy for her. There is nothing you can do. Leave like Rin has done.
Why? Can't I pray for her sake here if I can't do anything?
That is a crime. You have no right to share her pain. Do you not understand? I am telling you the surgery will fail if you are here. You are only a harmful enemy to Sakura right now.
What? I can't finish my sentence. His words are heavy and they're pointing out the crimes I didn't know I'd committed.
Mato Sakura feels some kind of guilt towards you. If you are near her, she may refuse to wake up.
Guilt towards me?
Yes, it is more like repentance than guilt. She is a victim of sexual abuse. It is easy to imagine the kind of training Mato Zoken imposed on her. To state the fact, Mato Sakura is not a pure virgin, but a woman who knows men. I don't know why that's relevant.
I'm not surprised. I think this is why Sakura feels guilty, not like
Oh, I see.
anything else than that. I know this feeling. It's just like when I found out Sakura was a master. I silently accepted the truth when I saw the command spell on her hand.
The girl tried to hide the fact from you, but always sought salvation. I don't know how long the abuse called Inheritance of Magic lasted. But what do you honestly think you can do now, when you stood by her side, completely oblivious for all that time? That's what I mean by you not having the right to pray here. But if you still care for Mato Sakura, leave. That's all you can do for now.
I get up. It's not that he's talked me into it. It's just that what he's saying is correct. That's Shirou. That means he talked you into it. I shouldn't be here if I really care for Sakura. I shouldn't be allowed to care for Sakura when I can't think at all. I turn my back to the priest and head for the door.
Oh, I do not think I even need to mention this, but
I don't have the composure to turn around. I stop, still facing the exit.
that incident you mentioned earlier, a woman was attacked when Mato Shinji still controlled Rider. She was saved thanks to you, but she would have died under normal circumstances.
I'm pissed. Somehow I understand why he's bringing this up now.
That's right, I need not mention who is at fault here. When servants attack people, the responsibility lies on the master.
Are you saying Sakura's at fault?
Of course not, I'm only talking about the responsibility. I'm not talking about good and evil. In reality, that woman is alive because of you.
But if I made a wrong decision back then, Ryder would have killed that woman. That means...
Yes, this is about the future. If Mato Sakura recovers, it will be the same in the end. The same thing is bound to happen again, even if she regains her consciousness. Which one will you protect then?
we don't know when Sakura might do the same thing. I have nothing to say to him. I quickly make my way to the exit as if to run away from his words.
Himiya Shirou, do you remember why you became a master?
I grit my teeth and walk on. His words are an ultimatum.
You said you would be a superhero. Then make your decision. Will you, or will you not cast aside your own desires like Imiya Kiritsugu to protect your ideal and your belief?
Damn. I shut the door. The door to God's house is heavy like the cross. I smell rain. The plaza's empty and no one's visiting the church. There stands a man waiting for me without his master. I strangely don't wonder why he's here and why he's waiting for me. The Red Knight silently stares at me and closes his eyes once as if to part with something. You know, right, Emiya Shirou? What you are fighting against and who you must kill. He clearly states the question I must answer. His words freeze my heart. I know. I vowed to fight to stop the war, to stop masters who involve innocent people. That was my decision, and that's why I asked for Saber's help. I can't go back on my word. Then, Sakura's the master I should be stopping first. I know, but I can't say anything. The Knight in Red remains silent. We stand there staring at each other under the gray sky. Then do as you wish. My goal has changed. Now that the thing has appeared, it's not the time to be caring about personal grudges. What? This is a warning. If you're going to protect the belief you've had until now, that's fine. But if you choose another path, there will be no future for Emiya Shirou. Does that mean I'm going to die? If you equate self-imprisonment with death. Isn't that right? You've existed until now to let people live. How can you throw away that oath and discard everyone to save one person? His declaring words contain no scorn. Archer's words contain determination and emptiness. I don't know which path Emiya Shirou will choose. But if you are to deny everything you've done to save one person, the crime will definitely judge you. Archer leaves. Unable to stop him, I start down the hill, paralyzed by indecision.
I'm gonna die in the park.
There's no fucking way our choice is wrong at this point. This is such big story beats. When I finally come back to myself, I'm sitting on the bench in the park. I don't feel like going home, and I can't wait at the church. This park is far away from both. It's been a few hours since I found out Sakura's a master. Its location suits an indecisive guy like me. An answer. I have to come up with an answer, but my brain is so messed up I can't even come up with what I should be thinking about. She suffered... Oh, it's not in the little quotes, but we know it's a quote.
Oh, you want me to say it? She has suffered sexual abuse. It is easy to imagine what kind of training Zoken imposed on her.
I don't know.
To be blunt, Sakura is not a pure virgin, but a woman who has known men.
Shut up. Don't repeat it. I understand. I am a magus, even if I'm just an amateur. I know what it means, and I can tell what Sakura's been through.
That girl tried to hide that fact from you, but has always sought salvation. Someone who sat by, oblivious, has no right to care for her.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! I know, you don't have to tell me such a thing. Such a thing. Why couldn't I notice it? One of my back teeth cracks. Jesus, dude. I grit my teeth too much today. It's a wonder it didn't break until now. Damn! Damn, damn, damn! I grind on the bare nerves. God. Pain assails my brain. But it can't even drown out the hatred in my head. A fire ignites inside my head. Now that I know the truth, thinking about our time together drives me crazy. Sakura was smiling. She was always smiling gently. I never knew what kind of pain she went through, and I accepted her as a matter of course. I don't care if her smiles were real or fake. I want to kill him. About what kind of hidden behind her smiles.
Oh, you kind of got warbly. Can you do that line again?
Oh, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I think it was just Discord being weird.
Discord. It makes me want to kill him, just thinking about what kind of pain was hidden behind her smiles. But Zoken. I can't forgive him. I don't need recompensation. I want to eliminate him and remove him from Sakura's life. Because everything is his fault. Sakura would have been able to live as a normal girl, and she would have never had a crest worm in her body if it wasn't for him. She wouldn't have become a master, and Shinji wouldn't have lost himself if Zoken didn't exist. So, if he never existed, none of this would have happened. I punched the bench. The wound in my hand opens up, and blood drips down onto the white bench. The clear colors transfer into my head. How stupid. What would have happened if he didn't exist? I'm disgusted with my own foolishness. That has nothing to do with this. Why am I pushing the responsibility onto someone else? Why am I trying to make myself feel better? I won't deny what Zoken's done to Sakura. Just thinking about it disgusts me. It makes me jealous if something important's been taken away. But it doesn't lessen my guilt. I'm the one who didn't notice.
Sorry, Minerva
No matter
sneezed
what-
on me. It was gross. What is wrong with you?
No matter what Zoken did, it's my fault for not noticing. No, it's not that I didn't notice. I just didn't try to notice. The night when I confronted Zoken, he said Sakura's unrelated, and I believed him. How stupid of me. Why did I believe his words? There's no way she'd be unrelated when she's of the Mato family. On the night I lost Saber, I realized Zoken's a monster who doesn't care about other people's lives. If that monster gave Rider to Shinji, there's no way he'd do nothing to Sakura. But I believed his words because they were convenient for me. I could have easily realized it. It's something I could have guessed with even a little thought. That's why I wasn't surprised. I knew it was obvious when I found out Sakura's a master and that she'd been raped until now. But I didn't think about it because I couldn't keep going if I realized it. If I realized, I'd have to fight. If Zoken's evil, the superhero has to fight against him. No. It's clear what I must do. If Sakura's going to be Zoken's puppet, use Ryder to indiscriminately attack people, it's clear what I must do. That's why I learned magic. I've been able to live because I have to save people from unreasonable disasters. So it's clear. It's just like that Red Knight said.
Senpai, if I... Oh, that's you. Just like the red... Wait, hold on.
It's
said just
a
like
Sakura
Red Knight
thought.
said. Oh god. I was like, why would he call you senpai? I was blacking out.
The line before that really misled me.
That's fair.
Senpai, if I become a bad person...
I don't want to hurt Sakura, and I feel sympathy. But there can be no exceptions. No matter how important it is to me, if it would create a disaster like that time... Do you want to read that one? Or...
Oh, what? Oh, bro, listen. I scrolled so fast.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Too much FGO?
Yeah, right? Yes, I wouldn't mind if you do so.
Ugh. I just need to eliminate it. I shouldn't have to think twice, so why? Why am I desperately trying to keep myself from throwing up? I endure the nausea. How long has it been? I don't have time to be worrying about stupid things. Tohsaka said she'd be back when the surgery ends. The town smells like rain. I have to go back to the church before it starts raining, find out how Sakura's doing, and...
Let's play, Shirou!
I'm suddenly embraced from behind. Ilya. I can tell without turning around. It's Sherlock over here. The one I meet at this park is always this white girl.
You know, honestly, the fact that she showed up is kind of surprising.
We're at the park.
Were you surprised? I had to greet you because I saw you.
Ilya, we're having a moment.
Yeah.
Ilya laughs cheerfully.
Existential crisis over here, thank you.
Her innocence is painful right now. I know it's selfish of me, but I don't want anyone smiling in front of me right now.
Oh, what's going on, Shirou? Why are you ignoring me? It's rude to keep looking down when a girl's talking to you.
I wish she'd be quiet. I don't have the composure to talk with someone right now.
Huh. Hey, Shirou, you have to listen when people talk to you.
Ilya, I'm sorry, but I can't afford to do so right now. If you want to play, you'll have to do it by yourself.
What? I got to see you, so that's boring. You never came here after that day. If I let you go today, I bet you won't come again.
I didn't promise to meet you here every day, and it's night already. Don't masters kill each other at night?
Get your ass beat if you keep talking like this.
How you get zerkered.
Absolutely.
My unkind words bring a renewed wave of nausea. I hate myself so much I want to punch myself. I'm driving Ilya away so I can be at ease.
Why? You're not a master anymore, right? So I'm going to let you go for tonight.
I'm not a master anymore? Ilya?
Ha! There's nothing I don't know about. You lost Saber and Rin was almost defeated by Ryder. The Ryder's master collapsed, so there are only 2 more left.
Ilya speaks cheerfully. It looks like she knows about Sakura's condition, and...
It's obvious now who's going to win. Ryder's master will self-destruct, and Archer isn't a big deal. No one can beat my berserker now that Saber's gone. See, so let's play. You're not a master anymore, so I'll special invite you to my castle.
Ilya hugs me without reserve. Seeing her innocent smile makes me so angry that... Shut up! I said I don't have such time! Go play by yourself if you want to play around!
Jesus, dude.
Look, he just was mad enough to bite through his teeth into his nerves.
Yeah.
I push Ilya away in a fit of rage. Oh, it's too late to regret what I've done.
Oh, you're fucking picking on kids right now?
Ilya's standing there in shock. I can tell without looking how shocking that must have been for her. I've pushed aside an honest, pure show of affection. I've just ruined everything Ilya felt for me.
We're gonna reset 5 fucking days, dude. This is all your fault.
Unable to hold her gaze, I look down.
I'm sorry, Shirou.
A small hand pats my head.
Oh.
What? Ilya, are you gonna get mad?
No, you're about to cry, Shirou. I don't know what happened, but it'd be too bad for you if I hate you. So I'll be your ally no matter what you do.
Oh, God. You don't deserve this tiny human at all.
Oh no, she's so pure. My vision's covered in white. It's just one phrase. But that phrase washes everything away from my head. My ally?
Yeah, it's natural to protect the ones you love, right? Even I know that.
Someone's ally. Ilya easily tells me the motive to be on someone's side. I know what's right and what's wrong. What I've protected until now and what I want to protect right now. I know which choice is correct and which is wrong. With that in mind, I think we gotta protect Sakura.
Right. I was gonna say, I don't know about this, but I feel like Sakura's the right answer. Because Sakura's
Yeah.
like, where's our...
Otherwise, we're ranked.
We're juiced! That's the wrong button. Okay. Oh, I want to say earlier when we thought we pressed the wrong button, and Sweet Clips was like, you guys pressed the wrong button, and I was like, shit, was Sweet Clips right? And then he wasn't. I feel so good now. He's always wrong.
I mean, I think the conversation is just clearly going into this, right? He's saying, like, Ilya just said she would stick with him no matter what. He understands how that feels and what allyship means. He knows with it what's right and what's wrong. With that in mind, like,
Yeah.
the natural conversation he needs to protect Sakura.
Right. And we want to get full bars.
I'm sure I'll regret it if I lie to myself and keep going. There's no way our solution's like, well, time to kill her. Where the responsibility lies, existence of good and evil. Losing Sakura weigh more heavily on me than either of those things. I don't even need to think about it. I just want to protect Sakura, that's all. Yeah, it's a matter of course to protect the girl you like. Even I knew that.
Right? I'm your ally because you're that kind of person.
He likes her and they... What? What do you mean? They just explained this. Ilya smiles delightedly. Her innocence encourages me.
I thought you were responding to Ilya, and I was confused, and then I read the chat. And then I was like, oh, that makes much more sense. I was like, he doesn't have it wrong. What do you mean?
I don't know if this is the right choice or not. But I do know I won't regret it. I'm sorry, Ilya. I have to get going.
Yeah, I'll forgive you since you have that expression. Let's meet again, Shirou.
Yeah, see you, Ilya. And thank you. I leave the park. I start running to the church as if to shake off my doubts. My answer's determined. I don't know how much Sakura supported me after my father died. I tried to see her as just another fellow student. I kept on deceiving myself because I wanted her to stay by my side. But such deception will no longer work. Emiya Shirou does not want to lose Mato Sakura. That's all. If I can't think things through, I'll just have to trust in the only definite feeling I have. But within my determination... Is that Archer's quote? I think so.
Yep.
Yep. If you were to protect just one person... I can't shake off Archer's premonitory words. Rain starts. The winter rain mercilessly shoots down at me as I run.
You ready for some squelching?
Still gone?
Is this the interlude? Or did we just leave the interlude?
It just started the interlude.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then yeah. That should be
Okay.
short. We should be able to end into the interlude and be fine.
Okay. Dragging sounds. These sounds are familiar. They're the sounds of crawling worms.
Gross.
This place is familiar as well. The dark, damp, secret room. An underground mausoleum. This green room is the first room given to her after she was adopted by the Mento family. Wait, is this Sakura's point of view? What? A lone figure stands in the center of the room. It may not be human, but its appearance is that of a human. This figure called for her, commanding her to fight in Mato Shinji's place. She was prepared for this. At the very least, she accepted the possibility up until 2 days ago. But now her determination's gone. Once she discovered that Emiya Shirou is a master, her will to fight left her. She visited the Emiya household to keep watch over him. But Emiya Shirou did not have the aptitude to become a master, and he had no knowledge of the Holy Grail War. That fact became clear at once, thus there was never a reason to keep watch over him. She stayed as his underclassman, using the role of keeping watch over him as an excuse. She had an optimistic view there'd be no need to fight him. Although she knew her true identity may be revealed at some point, she never dreamed they would end up fighting one another. So, how did it come to this?
Grandfather, do all masters need to be killed?
She knows what the old man's reply is going to be. Oh, I see. This is the old interlude, but with new knowledge. She knows, but she can only ask. But...
Well, you can keep one or two as playthings if you like. All I want is their servants. After stealing them, you may turn the masters into your toys or puppets.
the old man's answer is not what she expects.
What? Do you not understand? I said there's no need to kill all the masters. We will eliminate those that are too dangerous to keep alive. But those who will not be obstacles can be spared. It is the wish of my cute granddaughter, so I shall be a bit flexible, even if this is our greatest desire.
Hearing Ken's words, she lowers her guard a bit. The old man becomes strangely kind sometimes. When teaching her the family's magic, he's an inhuman monster, as cruel as a beast. But sometimes when they're talking, he becomes just a good-natured old man. But she can't be deceived. She doesn't know if this is a whim or a calculated act of kindness. Moreover, she knows she'll end up fighting him if she agrees. Even if she doesn't have to kill him, just having to fight him is bad enough.
Is that still not enough? You are a troubling one. That cowardice will prevent you from ever obtaining what you desire. Look, this is a good opportunity. If you want something, take it by force. Sakura, how long do you plan to remain a mere watcher? Reach out and claim your desire. You have the power and the right.
She doesn't answer. First of all, there's nothing she wants. She admires him, but she'd never expect him to accept her. She's impure. She's not suited for him. So someone more appropriate should stand next to him. All she wanted was to be by his side until that time came. It'll all be ruined if she wishes for anything more. Not only her. he too will come to a bad end.
Grandfather, I cannot fight. I will give Ryder to Nissan.
She speaks with a trembling voice, preparing for re-education. She knows what awaits her for disobeying him. The fear of being thrown to the worms, of losing one's sensation, is something one can never get used to. The longest she was able to keep her sanity was 2 hours.
Jesus.
She almost goes crazy, thinking that she'll have to endure many times that, no, at worst, until the Holy Grail War ends. Her body trembles. Fear of punishment makes her want to scream. But it's not the pain that she fears. All she fears is that when the pain becomes unbearable, she'll do as he commands.
It cannot be helped, I suppose. I cannot force you and lose my valuable successor. I shall remain an observer as well in this war.
She gasps. She doesn't know how serious he is, but he's accepted her excuse. The trembling away, replaced by a warm sense of relief. But into that defenseless mind.
But it is a bit disappointing. Looking at all the masters in this war, the daughter of Tohsaka is looking pretty good. The unlikely might happen if luck favors her.
The old man's voice.
Dude, Discord hates you today.
Really?
Yeah. You may continue. Oh,
What?
sorry. My line. My bro. My bad, bro. Nissan is?
Evil enters at that time. She knows it intuitively. Nason will certainly win. She's that kind of a person. She obtains everything she wants and passes through as if it's natural. Nason will take everything she wants without even a glance towards her, the one standing in place. Then Nason will win. Her body turns cold as ice. She doesn't care about that. She's used to it. She's used to it. She's used to it. She's used to such treatment. Nason will take it all. Nason's going to eliminate everything. The pain she went through, the bright future ahead of her, and the only person she can rely on. The ground wavers beneath her. The words make her dizzy and nauseous. Her chest is hurting. Something unpleasant assails her. As if a needle's in her chest. It has started raining. The chilly winter rain mercilessly beats against the gutters. How did we get here?
Shh, just keep going.
Oh. She slowly opens her eyes. It seems she was dreaming about what happened a few days ago. She's sleeping on an operating table in a room made of stone. In front of her is a black priest she's never seen before.
You are finally awake. Do I need to explain to you what is going on with Sakura? No, it's my body. I know all about it.
She answers simply. She doesn't focus on him, but on the sound of the rain against the walls.
Alright, then get changed quickly. Tohsaka, Rin, and Emiya Shirou are waiting in the next room. We have to explain your situation to them. You cannot run after that if you are naked, right? Are you going to let me run away? That is your decision. I merely helped you. It is not for me to plan your actions for you. Well, it was a waste for me to save you if you die. I do want you to remain until the very end, though. Why is that? It's more fun that way. Tohsaka, Rin, and Emiya Shirou will suffer more if you live. It is delightful the more sufferers there are.
The priest turns his back after he answers.
Why is he the worst?
Sometimes he says pretty reasonable things, and then he's just like, I love suffering.
I love mapo tofu.
The priest will go to the chapel now. He doesn't look back at her, hugging her knees on the operating table.
Well, will they kill you or will they let you live? You may wait here if you are interested in their decision. Though it does not look it, this building has a flimsy structure. For some reason, you can hear all the conversation going on in the chapel.
He smiles and leaves.
Toxic. Senpai, What should I do?
She embraces her news. The quiet weeping is drowned out by the sound of rain. I think...
And we leave off on that cliffhanger. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.